Welcome, everyone, to the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
Grumpy, how are you doing this fine Saturday evening?
Nice to start a watch-along halfway through the first period.
Yes, because today we're waiting on Grumpy.
Really? Really? I don't think you want to push that because I have photographic evidence when you were doing a little snooze around me on the couch. I got pictures of it with timestamps. So maybe you don't want to come at me.
Is the warden there? Could she verify that that we are waiting on Grumpy today?
Not the case. Not the case.
He's lying. If everybody who's got the headphones on, you heard right there. The warden was able to verify that we're waiting on Grumpy today. That's the reason we're running late. Usually it's a running gag that I'm the one who causes us to be late. Today it was the grumpy old man. Today was the grumpy old man. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. This is a twice a week All Islanders podcast. It takes place every single Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're new to the channel and you like the content that we put out, I encourage you to do a few things, right? I encourage you to subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss out on any of our future content that we release. And also like the video. If you like the video, apparently that helps the algorithm. It helps get this fun time of talking the Islanders out to the masses. And also what it does is lets us know you like the content that we put out. So again, if you like the show that we produce, make sure to do a few things. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and to like the video. One more thing I'll mention is a general housekeeping item. We also have a secondary podcast that takes place every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every single Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. Now that show is one to where myself, the Grumpy Old Man, and the Magnificent Son X talk anything and everything sports on the show. So we talk NHL, we talk NBA, we talk college athletics, we talk MLB, we talk hockey, we talk world football, we talk anything and everything sports on that show, called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. It is on Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You could find it in the link in the description below or as a featured page here on our YouTube channel.
And I think it's safe to say that the times are just rough estimates at this point.
Why do you say that, Grump?
Because they never start on time, always late. Because of you.
I will say this year, since our last episode, Grumpy Old Man, the New York Islanders beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. For whatever reason, as of recent, it seems like the Islanders just have Toronto's number. And I'm not sure if that's because we get up to play John Tavares or what that is, but we always seem to come out with a result against Toronto as of the last few years.
True. I don't know why either. Is what it is, what it is. I mean, Toronto's a better team. They look more dangerous, but we beat them. So there you go. And I'm going to continue my predictions and say the Islanders will lose to Nashville tonight.
Well, it's for those who have been paying attention, have been watching along, or seen a few shows. It seems like every year this year, anytime we're doing a show live or Grumpy gives a prediction of what the result's going to be, the opposite always happens. So if Grumpy says win against Nashville, it is almost undoubtedly going to be a loss against Nashville. But if Grumpy says lose against Nashville, it is almost a lock that we will beat Nashville tonight.
I'm taking the George Costanza approach. Everything I would normally say, just do the opposite.
Oh, man. But the Islanders, we're going live tonight during the Islanders. The Islanders live. We're live streaming, I guess, during the Islanders and Nashville Predators game here tonight. We're about halfway through the first period. The Islanders, they're going to be, after tonight's game, slightly past the halfway mark. Right now, we've got 48 points through 41 games. So, again, on pace right now for 96 points in a season. And you know where that leaves us? Right in the middle of no man's land, right in a spot to where we're going to be fighting for a wild card spot, and right in an area to where at this year's trade deadline, get ready to double down and add more pieces to this team.
I mean, I don't know. It's still too early to say, right? Still too early.
I mean, we're at a spot where this is where we always are, Grump. Besides the last year of Trotz, we've always been in a spot at the trade deadline where we're very close, or we're in the current playoffs, or we're right on the outside of the playoffs. And what we always do, or what we've historically done, unless we're 18 points out of a playoff picture, we add at the trade deadline. I wouldn't say, it's still too early to tell. This is historically what this team has been over the last 5-6 years.
Okay, but it's not like they need any bottom six players.
They're going to add a forward.
Okay, but I don't think there's any Bo Horvats out there, top line players, right?
They're not going to add Bo Horvat, Grump. What they're going to do is they're going to add a guy like, you're starting to see the Lamanites are starting to lobby for Adam Henrique. Oh, bring Adam Henrique in.
That's the lead Lamanite. He's been politicking for him for 2 years now. How old is he?
He's 34, 35.
Kind of finished, right? Plays on a shitty Anaheim team. Plays on the first line. I mean, are his numbers even that good? I don't even know.
His numbers are okay. Now, Adam Henrique, he'll be 34 years old in 2 weeks. But right now he's 33. But he'll be 34 after the All-Star break. And this year, he's got himself 2 points in 40 games.
How many?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. 22 points in 40 games. I wouldn't say that's anything to write home about.
Yeah, that's like what, a third line player? I mean, right? Maybe on a bad team, a second line player. We don't need that. We need a true bona fide first line left wing. I mean, otherwise, what are you doing? I mean, are you going to go out and get a defenseman? That makes no sense. Or your defensemen are locked up for years and years and years and years and years. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm baffled. I don't know what direction. I don't think there's any big names out there. Last year, everybody knew Patrick Kane was available. Bo Horvat was available. There were a lot of people that knew certain bigger name players were out there.
Sure.
I mean, this year, I just think it's a little different, right? You're hearing maybe a Frank Vetrano, potentially. I don't.
Vetrano's name being thrown out there also.
That's by the Lamanites. I mean, but is he really available? He's got 2 years left on a deal, or a year and a half. Why would Vancouver trade him? Or why would Anaheim? It's with Anaheim, right? Why would Anaheim trade him? I don't know. I just think it's a little early. We don't even know what the landscape is. So, little early. I do want to say about this game, though, even though Nashville is starting to play a little bit better now, I feel the Islanders have carried the action today, as they should. I don't think that Nashville's a very good team, regardless of where they are in the standings in the Western Conference. I mean, this is the first year Barry Trotz is the general manager, but we'll see. I mean, 0-0, 4 minutes, 25 seconds to go. I think this is a game the Islanders should win, but I'm picking them to lose so that they will win.
So that they win. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorokin's not had much action. I don't know if it's Saros in goal for Nashville.
Saros is in net for Nashville, Grump.
And he's done a nice job. There was one sequence of events, and Heb gave me a question, particularly in the first and third period. You see a team in defensive zone, a stick gets broken, and defensively, and the guy just running around chasing. I mean, I'm just like, dude, go get a stick. You're not helping anybody. I mean, if you go to the blue line, you're going to be able to get a stick. Why would you not do that? And I mean, eventually, Nashville player eventually did that, but it gave the Islanders sustained zone time and a couple of primo chances to score. So it's like, I think sometimes players got to be a little bit smarter, know where, time and situation, know where you are on the ice. First and third period, yes, I can go get a stick. And this is for any team. Go get a stick to help your team out. Otherwise, you're playing a man down, essentially, with that stick.
Here's the thing about tonight's game, kind of looking big picture. These are teams to where I know it's a road game, right? And if you look at a record, we've been a much better home team than an away team, as most teams in the NHL are. You play better at home than you do on the road. This is one of these games that I won't call them must-win games, but this is a game that you expect 2 points in. This is a game you expect a win in, not an overtime loss or a loss in a game like this. This is a team where the Predators, right, they maybe squeak into the playoffs this year. They maybe miss out on the playoffs by a few points. This is not a juggernaut. This is not a juggernaut of a team. It's not like this is Colorado or this is not Vancouver. This is the Nashville Predators currently. You have got to make sure that you're not dropping any points against a team like Nashville, especially with how tight the Metro division is and how tight that Eastern Conference is this year. You cannot afford to drop points and drop gains against lesser opponents or opponents to where you should come away with maximum points against.
And the last 9 games against Nashville, I think we're 0-7-2. So that's not good. But maybe it's a new regime under Barry Trotz. Maybe we beat him.
We're 0-7-2 in our last 9 games against Nashville.
Yeah. I don't know if it's in Nashville or just the last 9.
Wow. I didn't know it was that bad.
Huge save by Sorokin. Huge. Big save. Another super save by Sorokin.
A super save by Sorokin.
Super save.
Yes. But
right now, earlier it was like 7 or 8-2 and shots on goal for the Islanders. Now it's 8-7 Islanders. Yeah, that was a big point blank. Again, high danger chance save, right in the slot. Big save from Sorokin. And that's one that, at the end of the day, oh, yeah, he made a save there. I mean, most goalies let a goal in there. I mean, he was in good position, makes a nice leg save. At the end of the day, it's probably not going to be one of the highlight saves, but that's the thing that people forget. He's so good, and regardless of what the numbers are, a save like that kind of gets ignored. But in context, that's like a primo save right there.
Sure. And that's what you expect from him, and he does exactly that. For people that are overly critical when he lets a weak one in, I just think it's comical at best. Goalies are not going to make every single save and save every single shot that comes their way. They're not going to be 100% perfect. I've never seen a goalie, even Hall of Fame caliber goalies, not let in a weakie every once in a while. It reminds me of the abuse that Roberto Luongo used to get by the Vancouver Canucks fans, where they used to, oh, Bobby Lou, he needs to do so much better than that, and he needs to play. The guy is a Hall of Famer. The guy was a Hall of Fame goalie, and they found things to complain about on a night in, night out basis about him. Oh, the backup's better than him. We'd rather have Corey Schneider in net. It kind of sounds like some of the ungrateful Islander fans who rather have Varley in net when healthy than Sorokin.
It wasn't that bad in Vancouver till the very end with Snyder. It wasn't. The big thing was not winning the cup in 2011 when they were the best team in the NHL the whole year. They had a whole string of injuries on defense. Then, Horton gets knocked out by Aaron Rome, and that was the end of that series. In my opinion, that was the end.
Yeah.
They took some real punitive damage against Rome, and they were playing like their 11th and 12th defenseman in their organization at the tail end, and that cost them.
Now, this is a game, Grump, where we get to see one of the three amigos. One of the three amigos on display, Grumpy old man. Philip Tomasino is playing tonight.
I don't know. You know his number? I don't know his number.
I'll pull it up there for you. I can't tell you. I watch enough of these Nashville Predator games to know his number. Philip Tomasino, Grump. He's got 16 points on the year. His number, God almighty, I apologize. He is going to be number 26.
Okay, 26. I'm assuming he's a third line guy. So, like I said, I know nothing about Nashville. This is the first time I'm watching them all year. I remember when Victor Arvidsson played for them. He looked like a Hall of Famer playing against us every single game.
Break by the Islanders. God, man.
Well,
and Soros comes up big against Horvat.
So, see, that's the thing. Soros is a good goalie, right? That's the biggest thing.
Yes.
So, normally, if you see against if that's a chance for us where we get a break after being, the run of play was going against us, that's a goal. So that's the difference from having, a good goaltender. And Soros is a good goaltender. So this should be, and maybe that's why they're playing so well this year. But, this is a game where the goaltending is fairly even, and you're going to have to earn it. I think the Islanders are a better team than Nashville, honestly. Delayed penalty. The Islanders are going in the box with 50 seconds to go in the first period.
Well, the good thing is at least it'll be split, the penalty kill between two periods. So kind of tough to build momentum and continuity when you get a split power play.
Average Anders Lee going into the box. Don't know what the call is. We're going to find out here. I'm sure. I'm sure they're going to show a replay.
All right,
this is a fucking watch along. It's a watch along. You talk about what's going on in the game. How many times do I have to explain to you what a watch along is? It's not PJ just talking about the same things. It's a watch along. Watch the game and talk about it.
Grumpy, listen to me. I don't need you to just in a monotone voice say, and we got somebody going to the box, and it's going to be Anders Lee going to the box here tonight. We're going to find out what we're going to see. Oh, Anders Lee's off for tripping. That's not what this show is, Grumpy. Come on, please stop. But this is a game where you want to see results from the Islanders, right? And I think there is something worth noting that I think is a big, at least for me, it's something I'm paying attention to. How long is Varlamov going to be out for? The reason I asked that question is, you remember last year we had that big issue where in the postseason people complained about the play of Sorokin. Oh, he looked gassed. He didn't look like he was playing the way he needs to. We are playing him on a night in, night out basis at this point. Sorokin is getting no sort of rest. I guess they're trying to hope that they can get him to the All-Star break, play him every game, and by the time period the All-Star break happens, get him some rest, and hopefully Varlamov is healthy by then. But Varley has not even started skating yet. Now, Cizikas, since our last show, he's out. He's out. He's week to week. So from what I understand, he'll be out for at least about 4 to 6 weeks. But he's out for an extended time period. I wonder how severe the Varley injury is, the fact that he's still not skating yet.
Fairly severe, right? I mean, he's been out, what, a week and a half?
Longer than that, Grump. The last time Varley played a game, Grump, was almost like 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay. No, it's not been that long. It's not been that long.
You sure?
Yeah, it's
he tried to play originally on the West Coast trip. The last time he played a game was on the 2nd of January before he got pulled out about 14 minutes in. So it's been about a week.
About a week and a half, right? Week and a half, like I said.
Week and a half, still not skating.
Okay. End of one period, 0-0, Islanders and Predators. Let's deliver it in that radio voice. Yes, that's right. 0-0 0 at the end of one.
You're done.
For those who are actually interested to hear us talking about the game, first period's over. So,
You're done. You're done with that. I'm asking you about. We're talking about Varley, and you just completely go in a different area.
He's out.
Okay, that's
Ken
great.
Appleby. We expect to see Ken Appleby probably against Minnesota. I'd absolutely start Sorokin against Winnipeg. Is what it is when it comes to Varlamov. Would there have been bigger losses for our team, other players? Absolutely. Like I said, he's a backup. If you even get average play and pick the correct opponents for Appleby to step in, I think we'll be okay. I think a lot of times when you see a goaltender, like somebody that, is not a normal member of the team, I think the team steps up. Hey, let's help this guy out a little bit. You see that often. And the more, let's say he produces and he has a good effort his first game, I think that fosters good things moving forward.
The thing that I'm concerned about here is this. We use and abuse Sorokin, and by the time period the playoffs come, he's gassed. That's what I'm concerned about. And it's like, and then it's like, oh, gotcha. Even if we make the postseason, how much does he have left in the tank? It's just, I hate load management, right? But that's what people like, load management in different sports. I would love for the Islanders to be in a spot where Sorokin would be healthy, active, and not exhausted come postseason time. So, last year we had to utilize him in a plethora of games right down the stretch because it's the only thing that was keeping us in games. It was the only thing that was allowing us to win, and he was extremely hot. There's a reason why he finished second or third in the Vezina voting. And this year, we've already played him more games to this point than we had last year.
Okay. But, the All-Star game is coming up. As long as he's back by after the All-Star game, I mean, maybe he gets a couple more games, mixed in. Like I said, he's performed well this year. I mean, you cannot complain with the performance that he's had, honestly. So, maybe you just give Sorokin a little bit more rest after the All-Star break, and then he'll be ready to go fresh. The whole issue was last year that I think Sorokin started 15 of the last 16 games, whatever it was.
Yeah.
That kind of wears you out. But, and it was because we had to get in the playoff and Sorokin was playing so well. This year is probably going to be a little bit different. That's all.
I'm just asking you. I mean, like, is that can we say comfortably, oh yeah, well, if we're in a spot to where we're close, we could just alternate goalies because it's not like one's better than the other. What I still fear is they're going to want to ride the better goalie, and that still is going to be Sorokin. Sorokin this year has faced the most shots against in the NHL. He's got the most saves in the NHL. He's seen the most action, the most rubber, and the most pucks in the NHL this season. So, yep, it's one of those.
Maybe
things.
It'll be a 3-2. Maybe it'll be a 3-2 split as opposed to 2-1, which it was before he got injured. I mean, that's fine, and it depends on the teams we're playing. If we're playing weaker teams, you give Varley a little bit more run. That's all.
Okay, you seem to be unaffected.
It doesn't bother me right now. It's early. We're at the midpoint of the season. If he's back after the All-Star break, I don't think it's that big a deal.
He's not even skating yet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's not like you go from like, hey, I'm skating as a goalie to where I'm right back on the ice again.
We don't even know what we have in Appleby right now.
We're not even trying to see what we have in Appleby right now.
Well, but he's going to get the second half of back-to-backs or the first half of the back-to-back.
Varley was healthy to give you. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Varlamov. No, I'm sorry. No Varlamov on the morning skate this morning. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I just would love to see us kind of rotate the goalies a little more. But we'll see, I guess. We'll see. I do want to get into today's ad read here before we keep diving further in. And before we start getting some comments. But today's podcast is brought to you by DraftKings. We know hockey games move fast, but with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers could bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Again, you've heard us talk about DraftKings before. You've heard us talk about the same game parlays, all the great things you can do with them. You could say, I'm going to go ahead and predict that Sorokin has a shutout tonight. against the Nashville Predators. I'm predicting Matty B comes up with an assist. I'm predicting Noah Dobson registers a point. And you could start adding a whole bunch of these, wagers on the same game, adding the parlays, and it increases your payout. And again, if you watch the Islanders enough, you can pretty much bag it that Matty B or Noah Dobson is going to do something of success. But download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code THBN. New customers can bet $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code THPN. The crown is yours. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available if you have a gambling problem. If you call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of the Boot Hill Casino and Resorts in Kansas. You must be 21 years or older, but age varies by jurisdiction. It's void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources.
Yeah, nice ad read, TJ. Impressive. Most impressive.
Let's take a look here at some of these comments, Grumpy. Angelo M. Grump.
Good evening. Good evening, Angelo.
You got Rogue Gamer.
I thought this live stream was exclusively on Peacock.
That's right. Exclusive on Peacock. We're going to put it behind the paywall next, Grump. This is a little call, I guess, to our the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show where we talked about Peacock and cable. Grumpy, are we keeping you awake over there, Grump?
Listening to you is boring me.
Oh, look at that. Your quick quips. Frank says, hey, what's up, Frank? How are you? Frank K also says here, that was a fun game on Thursday. Sorokin, it's his best game I've seen in a while.
I thought he was really good. I just don't bag on him like other people. He's the only reason we have the points we have is our goaltending. Period.
I agree. Now let me ask you this, Grump. That Toronto game, how great was Matt Barzal? As well as Noah Dobson.
I thought they were both outstanding. It's the players we talk about, right? It's none of the ham and egg or hacks that the Lamanites like to talk about. It's Dobson, Sorokin, Barzal, and we'll throw a little Horvat in there. That's it. That's it.
Horvat played well this year, really well.
Mm-hmm. Those are the guys. Those four guys. Like I said, all right, you missed Varlamov to an injury, you missed Pelech. I mean, big deal. Pulak, whoop-de-doo. The big four on this team, it's actually back big three plus. Barzal, Dobson, Sorokin, and then we'll throw in a little Horvat too. He's the guy who doesn't get the bronze medal, but he competed really well, so he came in fourth. No medal for you.
And that's your Brock Nelson, huh?
No, that's Horvat.
Or is that Bo Horvat?
Yeah. Brock Nelson is below Horvat. No one knows who comes in fifth. No one.
I'll say this. Noah Dobson looking like the future $10 million man. I think I'm sitting kind of pretty on that one, Grump. I think I'm sitting pretty. I'm sitting in flowers, Grump.
Sounds like, well, there's a lot of time there's a fertilizer on top of flowers. Maybe that's what you're smelling.
No. I said I'm just sitting pretty. I'm not smelling anything. I'm sitting pretty. I tell you, Noah Dobson is on over a point a game pace right now. The best defenseman we've got on this team by a country mile. Now,
is he a point a game?
He's more than a point a game. That's correct.
Okay.
I'll pull it up for you.
Okay.
He's more than a point a game. Now, it's funny. A lot of people are like, yeah, Noah Dobson should make the All-Star game. It's funny just looking at how quick the tide changes. So many of these fans bullying him. Oh, he's awful. He's cooked. He's this, he's that. Now to saying he's an All-Star. He's fantastic. It's just crazy how quick
he's
that moves.
So soft. He got rid of his social media account. He blocked the lead Lamanite guy. Who cares? Who cares?
Oh man. But yeah, he's had a great season this year. Very happy with his performance. He's done exactly what you'd expect him to do. And for everybody who's been paying attention, watching the show for a while, knew what he could do as well. Still not a fan of who he's been saddled with there. Rheumatitis. He's got a severe case of rheumatitis, but
they're playing Pellick with Mayfield. Again,
yikes.
and it's like Dobson and Romanoff, and then you got the shitheads on the bottom pairing, Riley and Aho. I'm not going to call Aho a shithead, but Riley definitely is. And he carries enough shit in him to cover the whole pairing, honestly. He blows. Terrible.
Freedom, fun, and adventure, Grumpy.
Love you, Grumpy. But the other night you shoveled some serious horse poop. You said Shula cheated because he forced the poor little Jets to play on the exact field as Miami. Okay, here's the thing. Freedom, fun, adventure. The whole thing was the field's supposed to be covered before the game. Okay. He knew the night. Here's the thing. The Jets were a high-flying offense. The Dolphins were not at that point. I think David Woodley was their quarterback. I think it was David Woodley. Can't really remember now. And long story short, all of a sudden, Shula doesn't cover the field. Never happened when Marino was quarterback. I will tell you that much. When he had the Marks, Duper, and Clayton out there. Yeah, it was a bone. It was a big deal the time that it happened as well. This is not revisionist history. They were talking about it the day of, the night before. It was the sloppiest game I ever saw play. Honestly, the sloppiest, the worst field conditions ever. And all of a sudden, Shula, the Saint Don Shula, always on the what committee? The rules committee. Always Don Shula. His team, the least penalized team in the league, he's on the rules committee. Yeah, okay. Tell me how that works. Take a look at what's going on in the NFL right now and tell me that it hasn't always been like that. It's just the way it is. And absolutely. He gave orders not to have that field covered. And it hurt the Jets. Absolutely killed them. Absolutely. 14-0 loss.
Let me ask you this, Grumpy. Or let me make a quick statement. For those who are watching today, right, they're on Peacock to watch the Kansas City Chiefs against the Miami Dolphins. And for those who aren't, because you're watching the Islanders, you're a diehard Islander fan, or you're watching the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man talk about the Islanders, giving you a little score updates around the league. Right now, Miami 0, Kansas City Chiefs 7, Tua Tagovailoa 2 for 4 tonight through the first quarter, 15 yards passing, 1 interception.
He doesn't have.
He is off to a.
It's too cold. The weather's he's never won a game when the temperature is below 45 degrees. There used to be something where a team Tampa Bay Buccaneers had never won a game where the temperature was below 30. Until the People's Champion got there, they had no problem winning those games. You know what? When you're a loser, you're a loser. Okay? Tua Tagovailoa is a loser. I don't expect him to win. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't think much of him as a quarterback. If I was the Miami Dolphins, I'd be looking in another direction.
Yeah.
Interception. Can't throw interceptions. First of all, he's got an arm like a freaking noodle. He's got an arm like a freaking noodle, a floppy noodle. And he's just not that good. I'm sorry.
Frank K says the Islanders are playing well so far. I agree.
Yep.
We absolutely were the better team in the first period.
Yep.
Now, what I don't want to see happen is we come out the next 2 periods and we look meh. I want to see us carry this forward and have a full 60-minute performance tonight. That's what I want to see from our Islanders. Frank, Grumpy Old Man.
Like that, Grump. You're doing reverse bad luck. LOL. You're a class act, Grumpy. Love you, man. Thanks, Frank. Yeah. Hey, you know what I've noticed? I've noticed the last couple of weeks, every way I pick, the opposite happens. Well, hey, let's feed that. Let's feed that. Let's go. Road Gamer says Islanders will win because Fook you and Fook me, says the NFL. I don't think it has anything to do with it, but hey, that's okay. I'm going to go through whatever comments have been highlighted here while TJ disappears. Mr. Meat says if the Islanders played with the heart every night that they played against Toronto, they'd be very hard to beat regularly. Do you think the Islanders outplayed Toronto? I think they had to play with heart. It's tough to play like that 82 games a year and then the playoffs. Very, very difficult. They seem to get up for Toronto, though. Some teams you do, some teams you don't. Frank from Empire State says, I like Frank Vetrano a lot for a very reasonable price. Okay. Is Frank Vetrano, I mean, I think he's serviceable. Is he what you need? Is he a first-line player? I don't think so. I mean, what would you have to give up for him? If it's a lean market, and we don't know what the market is, and that's why I'm like, okay, slow down. We don't know who's available, who's not. Okay, let's say he's the top name on the market. You're going to have to give up a lot more than you should for a player like Frank Vetrano. We don't know yet. Road Gamer says Barzell, third line. Actually, I haven't been able to pay attention to the game as much because TJ doesn't like me to actually watch what happens. But I think Barzell's looked good today. I think is he not back with the first line? I don't know. Freedom Front of the Bench says Islanders should trade anyone not named. Barzell, Sorokin, Horvat, Dobson. Romanov, no, Romanov can go. Bolduc, he can go. Nelson, he can go. Wally, he can go. Also, not prospect Nelson. I don't, that doesn't make sense. Sorry, Freedom Front of the Bench. But Nelson in the right deal, absolutely, I'd move him. The only, to me, the only untouchables, the only truly untouchables are Dobson, Barzell, and Sorokin. I don't think you can move Horvat with his contract. I just don't think he's movable. And you can say the same thing about Barzell, but Barzell has played extremely well this year. Dallas McDonald says, I hate when we're all over a team and don't score. Always scares me for the rest of the game. Well, usually that's the Islanders getting dominated and Sorokin will stand on his head and then the Islanders pop in a goal. It's you lose games like that periodically, but I'd always rather be the team that dominates. Yes, I 100% agree. The longer you keep a lesser team in a game, the greater they feel confident about themselves and, you know, they could steal one from you. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be the team that's dominating as opposed to one that's hanging on. Freedom Front of the Bench says Zebras have been made available. Oh, Zegras has been made available, but is injured and is a center, as far as I know, young and skilled from New York. If Zegras is truly available, which makes no sense to me at all, he's a guy I'd be all for going in. Absolutely. Started the second period now. Nashville still on the power play. And hopefully the Islanders kill this one off. Talk about a team that had a good road trip. Vancouver shut out Buffalo 1-0 today. Broken stick right now from Mayfield gives Nashville advantage. Islanders doing a nice job battling, though. Mayfield without a stick. Like I said, the difference between the first period and the second period is a long way to the Islanders bench, but that's okay. Number 10 just absolutely shit himself and turned the puck over, which bails Mayfield out. Next comment from Gungun says, does Paul Bichonette ever regret his sharp tongue? I don't think he's got a brain that comprehends things like that. Frank K says, Luongo opening his mouth after beating Boston 1-0 by saying he would have made the save that Tim Thomas didn't, woke up Boston. That's horseshit. You're wrong, Frank. They bombed him the next game and got him pulled. You're wrong. You're wrong. Vancouver won the first two home games. Game 3 was where it changed the tenor of the game when Aaron Rome knocked out Nathan Horton and had that ugly scene with them standing like that. And Rome was gone for the rest of the series. Like I said, Edler was playing with 3 broken fingers. Dan Hamhuis had a torn groin. Ryan Kessler had the hip injury, his first one. They were missing a bunch of players. Vancouver was the best team in the league. Tim Thomas played unconscious. Every team, except for the last one, was won by the home team. Tim J says, the Isles are horrible in the last minutes of a period, always in a panic, always losing puck control. I just think it's kind of back and forth, honestly. I don't think it's always the end of the first period. So I mean, every game has, you know, the yin and the yang. You know, okay, this team's hot for this team's rolling now. And I just think it's just the flow of the game, honestly. I don't think it's necessarily a time or not. Guggen says, who has less shame in his game, the grumpy old man or Lou Lamoriello? I think it's me. Could be both. Who knows? Carlos from Portugal says, salute the panel and chat. Hello, Carlos. Always a pleasure from Portugal. John Smith said there is no picking the right opponents for starting Appleby. We play stinkers against good and bad teams all the same. Yeah, but you want him to play, like I said, I think you would want to play him against Minnesota, not Winnipeg. Winnipeg's hot right now. So I think, and Minnesota's all banged up. I think you kind of lean towards playing him against Minnesota, even though optimally you want the second half of the back-to-back to be Appleby. We're going to find out early in the week, right?
The Islanders are headed to the power play, by the way, grumpy old man.
Jeremy Lozon takes a penalty in the offensive zone, tripping Aho.
Looky there. A little. What comment did you leave off on? I'm sorry, Grumpy. I'm back.
Road Gamer 844. What happened to Varley? Out for the year? I don't think he's out for the year. I don't even. They haven't even told us what the end. They haven't told us upper body, lower body. They haven't heard anything. If he's not on the ice, it could be groin. It could be groin. We don't know. They're real secretive. So.
Yeah. Goon Grump.
Are the Rangers not as exceptional as a lot of loudmouths claimed early this year? Did they commit treason? I think the Rangers are good. Are they as good as Carolina? I don't think so. But with Peter Laviolette, I think what you're seeing is they play more defense now, which certainly helps them out. They have individual talent. They have guys who can score, put the puck in the net. You're seeing development from Lafreniere, and they're playing extremely well. I mean, I think they're still first place in the Eastern Conference, or if not, they're right there. So you can't say they're stinking. I mean, I think the Rangers are good. I do.
When we look here at where the standings currently are, it's again, as we mentioned, very, very close. The NHL standings you've got here, right? 3 points behind the Rangers. And the Rangers are on a 4-game losing streak. It's worth adding as well. But currently, the Hurricanes are hot, right? 7-1-2. They all things find a way to work themselves out. Now, that being said, the Islanders, even after if they win tonight against the Nashville Predators, which we both think they will,
no,
they're still going to be.
No, they're not. No, they're going to lose to the Predators.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. They're going to lose in order for them to win. My mistake.
Yes.
But you look at it. I mean, there's going to be the teams are so jumbled right now. My God. Well, I mean, there are going to be a few teams that have 2 to 3 games in hand on us that are 2 to 3 points behind us. So this, these are time periods when we need to start winning games. I know Grumpy, the thing he loves to look at is the plus minus. So what the goal differential is. We're minus 11 at the moment. The Washington Capitals are minus 25. That's not sustainable. The Devils minus 2, Penguins plus 14. So, yeah, I mean, everything is extremely close. The Flyers are still sitting in third.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think the Penguins will make the playoffs. I absolutely do. You're seeing Jersey now, right? Jersey won today, beat Florida. Florida had, 9 wins in a row, something like that. They beat them 4-1. You're seeing the Devils start to play better recently, right? You're seeing Carolina has righted the ship. The Rangers are still, regardless of the 4 losses, they're still one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, right? So, I mean, there's certain teams that you're seeing early in the year, they were struggling. And now, okay, we knew the Hurricanes and we knew the Devils. I knew Pittsburgh. So I just think that if you're an Islander fan, you're not really concerned about the Flyers or the Capitals. It's the Devils and the Penguins. Those are the teams you have to watch out for. And Hurricanes, that's a lost cause, honestly. How we're going to look when we play the Rangers, I think that's a big deal.
Well, the thing that's worth mentioning here, too, the amount of points that separates the first place Rangers from the 7th place Penguins in our division is a total of 9 points. So from 1st to 7th in the division, there's only a 9-point difference. I'm telling
It's early.
you,
It's
it's
still early.
It's early, but the point being here is this time period is unbelievably important to take care of business against the teams you need to take care of business against. That's what it is. Now, and I think you had read a comment earlier, Grumpy Old Man, about Paul Bichenet. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have no use for him.
Well, Paul Bichenet and Butchie were getting back into it again last night on social media.
God.
And
Butch, this is not something Butch should do. It's not his game. And to me, the marketing team for the Islanders, they're the ones who need to step up.
I agree with you there too. But like, I'll put it up on screen, Grumpy, what had happened, because it's, here's the thing. Butchie was exchanging a few blows back and forth. I'll put up some more comments and I'll pull up what happened there last night, Grumpy. The next comment here by Dave Johnson
says saving $6 watching Grumpy instead of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, you can just rent her movie if you want.
Angelo M. Grumpy.
Too many games for Sorokin. Well, I mean, what are your other options right now? You're not going to play Appleby 50-50. That's for certain.
Oh, gosh.
Can you imagine Appleby in that situation, honestly, where we're giving up Primo scoring chances all the time? JP says, the Islanders team, not good enough to be a champion, not bad enough to tank, and just when you think they'll sink to the bottom like a rock, they float back to the surface like a turd. Okay, that should tell you something. You're not good enough.
I'm gonna let you know something. Please remove Butch Goring off of social media in favor of that. Now, Here's the one thing that we've always talked about. I don't mind him jawing back and forth against Paul Bichenet. Whatever. I don't think it's his game. But look at this shit. Look at Butchie. What is the one thing we always say? When you're a professional athlete, when you're somebody that has high standings, you should not be mixing it up with the everyday person. You've accomplished what you've accomplished. Anybody with half a brain understands that. You don't need to get into pissing fights with no-name sock accounts on social media. Well, Butchie seems to be doing that right now. And Grumpy, I'll let you look, Grumpy. I'll let you read some of these comments here that Butchie was tweeting at these people. I was like, oof, Butchie, come on, man. But he said, which one of your 6 followers actually pays any attention to you? And again, they're coming at people, but it's like, why are you engaging on this? Easy to remember something when you've accomplished it 4 times in a row. He's got, I just don't get why he's like going at random people.
Nobody big save by Sorokin on a deflection right in front of the net.
Did you hear anything when I was just talking about?
I heard what you said. Again, it's a watch along with the game.
It's not a fucking commercial.
But I don't.
Does that register for you?
But I don't think you understand. People want to know what's happening in the game. At some point in time, I feel they do. If I'm wrong, people in the comments.
Nobody's watching the game. Everybody's just listening to this telecast, and nobody's watching the game. Is that what you're suggesting?
I think they still want to be notified when something happens. No.
Did you have any thoughts on Butchie or no? Do you have any thoughts?
I agree. He should get off of social media, not engage with Bichenet, and certainly not with the fans. He's a 71, 72-year-old man. Dude, it's a no-win proposition for you. And the shitheads who are in charge of the Islanders and this type of stuff need to say, dude, no, let's stop. Don't talk to Bitch, or we'll put something out. And they need somebody to write something scathing about Bitch. And just have it come from the Islanders, honestly. Well, you know what? Have the Islanders go to Bettman and tell Bitch to knock it off. Because that'll do it. We all know he's a cavey bitch, and he will, because he's more concerned with his paycheck than anything else. So, like I said, that's how you stop him. It was obvious. The first sign of trouble, okay, yes, my little master, whatever you say. So I have no use for him, honestly. Butch should not even engage with him. They're showing Barry Trotz. You know what? I think he's looked the same for the last 50 years. the same. Absolutely the same.
Okay. Yeah, I guess going to the prior comments you made, I don't mind him engaging Paul Bichonette. I thought that, again, as we mentioned, probably the Islanders PR team or whoever handles the Islanders social media accounts should probably be coming to his defense. So Butch doesn't feel like he's got to, because older people with social media take things a lot more personal probably than what they should. And it's the reason why he's tweeting at accounts with 6 fucking followers. Like, if we get people with 6 followers who tweet at how stupid of a podcast this is, how dumb Grumpy and I are, you know what happens? I just saw, whoop, I just continue
We
on
don't.
with my
Okay.
normal day.
Okay. I don't think Butch even knows if the guy has 6 followers.
Yes, he does. So if you were paying attention to what I was saying instead of just being glued and not paying attention to what I was talking
Instead of me watching the game that we're supposedly talking about, instead of doing that, okay. I already know what my opinion is.
multitask. You can't multitask. Here it is. Look, Grumpy. See how if we go over this guy, Arvin Lopez, Grumpy, it's got 8 followers now. Ooh, he's got up.
Followers, so he
He's gone up 2 followers now.
Okay.
Here's the tweet made him.
Here's the thing. For me, I don't
be doing
partake in any of that. I don't know how, if it's 6 or 8 followers. I don't do that. You don't hear me engaging with the plebeians. I don't do it.
I'm telling you right now, Grumpy, how it happens. I'm
How
just
many
saying,
does Butch have?
Butch should not mix it up.
How many followers does Butch have?
I'm saying hundreds of thousands, or he's got 31,000. I'm sorry, no, I'm over 31,000. I'm just saying, probably shouldn't be mixing it up with people who don't even have a picture associated with their Twitter account who tweet something nasty at him. You're a public figure. People are going to tweet nice things at you and nasty things at you. Probably shouldn't respond to the nasty things.
How many people tweet to Butch that he would
not
even read?
Not many, but Paul Bichonette doing this is causing people to tweet at him.
Okay, that he would even read these things. I don't know.
Well, he obviously reads it because he tweets them back out. So he's obviously reading them. Bro.
Or does somebody else read them? Like, Noah Dobson. Noah Dobson's mom. Mom or girlfriend dropped Phil. And you know what? They were smart to do that.
An account with 31,000 subscribers. I'm assuming he's probably managing his own Twitter account, Grom, just based off of the responses as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's not a good look. Shouldn't be tweeting at normal people, but whatever. I don't mind him going at Paul Bichonette, but I'll let you continue. Grumpy comments, my friend. We'll get some comments here.
Does Appleby eat at Applebee's? I don't know.
Alex Inchy.
I read this earlier, and I have a question on it. TJ, I met your favorite Bo Horvat earlier today in downtown Nashville. I'm just wondering, I don't know what time Alex saw him, but it's like, are these guys out game day, just mingling with the masses? I don't know. Was he nice? Actually, I wanted to ask Alex, was he nice?
I'm sure they were nice.
I mean, honestly, hockey players of all the major sports, hockey players are without a doubt the nicest athletes you're ever going to meet. Certainly better than baseball, football, and basketball. There is no comparison. We're a little
over halfway through the second period, and it's been exactly what you would expect a Barry Trotz against the New York Islanders matchup to be. A boring 0-0 slugfest that I anticipate will be going to shootout in some capacity, and the team will win 1-0.
Doesn't this have the 1-0 feel to it? Somehow
it does. You're so fixated, man. I've been watching the game. It's kind of boring. Have you been entertained by tonight's game? I have not, but maybe I'm in the minority. I might be in the minority. We've had a few chances going in on them. They've had a few chances coming back. This is not an open game. This is not a high flying game. This is a very zone to zone, set up our defensive structure, block shot. Not an entertaining game, but maybe you're enjoying it. Maybe other people are enjoying it. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think the shots were like 12-10. We went to the TV timeout, so it's like not a whole lot of action. Soros, Soros has made a couple of saves, and Sorokin's made a couple of saves, and but you're right, a lot of neutral zone stuff, a lot of just you're right. It's not been entertaining.
But you can't take your head away from it. That's what I'm saying. It's like tonight's game is not
watch along. It is a watch along.
You know what tonight's game is? You know what tonight's game is? Don't watch. That's how it's a boring game tonight. God damn. That you think that this industry's job is to entertain, but man, oh man, has it been a boring game. I'm hoping it's entertaining. That's what I'm hoping for. But this is a Barry Trotz run team. I won't say coach team. This is a Barry Trotz run team as the GM now. It's just oof. So we'll get to more comments here.
You remember Dan Highnote? Dan Highnote, defenseman. Well, he's
Ham Hughes.
Dan Highnote. If I want to say Dan,
I've never heard of Dan Highnote. Who the fuck is Dan Highnote?
He used to play in the NHL, defenseman. He's an assistant coach for Nashville. Gungu says Trotz was just interviewed between periods and was quite complimentary about Dobson and Barzy. Further proof he is classy, not gassy. Yeah, you never heard him say anything nice about him when he was coaching the team, though. That's for certain.
To answer your question, I do not remember Dan Highnote, who he hasn't played in 15 years since he last played in the league. So,
I remember playing for Pittsburgh and stuff. Dan Highnote.
Yeah, don't remember.
For a guy who's out of the league 15 years, he looked pretty damn good.
Okay. Real Gamer says here, Applebee was the mascot for Applebee's in the 90s.
Probably not Ken Appleby. Ponyboy Curtis says, Grump, multiple things can be true at the same time. Your Holmstrom takes look like shit this year. Really? Take away the five shorthanded goals. What has he done?
Why would you take away shorthanded goals, though?
Because that's the only reason anyone's even talking about him. There's no other reason. He hasn't shined in any other way. He's had hanging. He's had 5 shorthanded goals.
Why would you take away shorthanded goals, though?
Because it's the only reason anyone's talking about him. That's the only reason. The only reason. His regular run of play shows me nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's a jag. That's what he is, a jag.
But he did have shorthanded goals because he's produced, right? So it's worth saying that. I'm not taking anything away. He's been exactly what we thought, or exactly what we could have imagined the best case scenario to be. He's a guy that is very good bottom 6 forward. That's what he is. I don't think he's anything more. I don't think there's anything to celebrate about him. He does his job just like Cizikas does his job, just like Kyle Clutterbuck, just like Matt Martin, just like Hudson Fasching, and we don't celebrate those guys every day. But we like to celebrate Hudson, or we like to celebrate Simon Holmstrom for whatever reason. If
Hudson Fasching had 5 shorthanded goals, everyone would be gushing about Hudson Fasching.
Sure.
And if you look at his totality of play, just subtract the 5 shorthanded goals, there is nothing special. And I like Hudson Fasching. Nothing special about him. Absolutely nothing. And that's the same thing with Holmstrom. It's with Pajot. They're all the same. They're all bottom 6 guys for a reason. They are what they are. Nothing special about them. They're not Mike Bossy. They're not. Bills asked the fans to shovel snow at Highmark Stadium amid winter storm warning. I bet they're not asking them to do that anymore. Since the NFL, you know what? Does it feel like the NFL just kind of said, we could have played the game tomorrow, but you want to know what? We kind of like the idea of moving the game to Monday and having 3 straight days of doubleheaders. I think we could make more TV revenue from that. That's what I think.
The Islanders are going to the power play again here. Lozon for his 2nd penalty of the game here today. And what's the call? What the fuck is that call?
I don't know, honestly. That doesn't look like a penalty to me. Just hitting a guy.
I don't care. It benefited us, but they're all fighting for the puck along the boards, and he's
no. It was Engvall, so he was not fighting for the puck for the boards, and that's why it was interference.
Well, he was fighting for the puck along the boards, not getting it, but they're all fighting for the puck along the boards. They went ahead and put a body on a body, and they gave us another power play. I'm not complaining because it gives the Islanders another opportunity. But if that was called against us, I'd be a little upset. So, the Islanders on another power play. Let's see if we can get anything going here on this. But Rogamer says here, Marino is the best quarterback ever. I know it's not popular, but Lawrence Taylor would kill Brady.
Marino couldn't win anything. He wasn't a winner. You want a stat stuffer? Dan Marino's your man. You know what? It comes to nut cutting time. Can you win championships? He couldn't. Period. He was a good regular season quarterback. So was Peyton Manning. In a big game, are you trying to tell me you're picking Dan Marino or Tom Brady? I'll take that bet every day of the week. Guess what? Brady be undefeated in Super Bowls if they played against one another. No doubt about it. About LT, I don't know what the LT comment even had to do with anything. Ponyboy Curtis says, every time you exclaim that Holmstrom is a goal hanger, you just continue to seem like a guy that can't admit that his take was a little off this year. It's not. Dude, watch where he is on the ice. Watch where he is on the penalty kill. He's always up by the blue line, hoping to jump out. That's where he is.
I will say that he is.
That's the player he is.
I will say that he is goal hanging quite
frequently. Prove me wrong.
I will say that he is goal hanging quite a bit. That being said, he's done a good job this year. Grumpy can't fucking admit that. You're right. Grumpy, for whatever reason, cannot admit.
He's a Jag. He's a Jag. There's nothing special. The Lamanites going on and gushing about this guy. It's like, dude, who the fuck are you talking about? He's got what, 16
points? That I don't get, but you cannot admit to say he's played well. Can you say he's played well?
You know what? He's been okay in his role.
You are a Lamanite on the other side. You're a Lamanite on the other side.
You're not going to hear me gushing about any third and fourth line player. I don't do it because there's nothing special.
Saying he's played well. Is that gushing? He's played well. Is that gushing?
I think he's been okay. I think he's been okay. That's what I think. And you know what? The further we get away from the shorthand goals, the less and less productive he is. Those are just facts. Those are just facts. He had a nice goal in a shootout, really nice, and he's actually had a couple of good shots. Other than that, he still won't go into a fucking corner for a puck. And as a third line player, that's a prerequisite. You better get your ass digging in the corners. You won't do it. Sorry, I don't respect guys like that. Just don't. This is not the ice capades. Get your nose dirty. Get in the corner. Go for a puck.
I don't know why you can't say he's played well.
Because I don't think he's played well. I think he's played okay. I think there's a difference. Well and okay are two different things.
Mad Marks. Drills going right to the goal.
Saros is playing really well so far. Islanders out shooting the Predators 16-10 with 5 minutes to go in the second period.
I know. Very enthralling game. A lot of fun we're watching tonight. My God. This is just
trip by Martin.
Even when we're on the power play. Now there's a delay. There's another power play coming up for the Islanders again.
Martin tripped him. No, that's on Martin. Martin tripped.
I'm sorry.
It was a dumb penalty, honestly. I mean, why is Martin even playing? I don't know.
See, I'm sorry. That's a shitty call. That's a really shitty call against Matt Martin.
That's right. He did swing his stick, but did he trip him? I think Yossi was going down anyway.
He was in a spot where he was further on to where he needed to be. He felt pressure from behind, and his fucking legs just fell out from underneath him because he was in a good spot. He knew he could draw a penalty with the arm wrap.
Martin's mistake was throwing the stick across the body. And Yossi took it. Yossi took advantage of that. He absolutely did. But you know what? Martin's a veteran player. He should know better. Yossi was not scoring from there. Don't do something dumb. Yeah. That said, I don't think Nashville. How many goals does Nashville have this year? 10? I mean, they're 40-something games in. What, they got 15, 20 goals? Because they look like they suck on offense.
So Nashville, they've only got 100. They've got 135 goals this year.
I can't believe
more than what I thought. That's for certain. They've conceded 133 goals.
Wow. Well, Saros was out for a while. That hurt them.
Yeah, but like they've scored a lot more goals than what I had expected. So, but yeah, this team, they look, man, this is just boring. It's a boring slog of a game. I wish that I hope in the third period things open up. I hope, because what I think will happen as soon as the first goal is scored, you're going to see them open it up because the team that's now losing is going to play a little bit more freely. But it's like, man, it's like two boxers that are kind of feeling themselves out, and we're here in the freaking third or fourth round, and they're still feeling each other out. Come on, man, get out there and start throwing some blows. Ponyberg Curtis says Holmstrom appears to have more upside and more potential significantly than Wallstrom. See, I disagree on this. Now, here's
because
the thing.
he's getting all the run. He plays. He's a third liner. They've given him. Holmstrom has been in the lineup all freaking year. All year, he's been given multiple opportunities on the first year, which he failed because guess what? He's just not that
on the first line, not the first year.
Now, Wallstrom, how much run is he getting? Where is he playing today? I mean, you tell me. I mean, it's about opportunity. And one kid gets it, one kid doesn't. It's just that plain and simple.
Let's take a look here.
Like I said, Holmstrom has 16 points in 40 games. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not writing. That's like what? You're on pace for 32 points this year? Is that something? Hey, he's great. No, sorry. It's just, it's average NHL production. I mean,
but our team is we lack any sort of young talent that it gets people excited about it. So right now,
I mean, I know the Islanders power play has been problematic in the past. Nashville doesn't even look like they play a power play system at all. It's hard watching them. They're terrible.
Oliver Wahlstrom has the second least amount of ice time. Matt Martin is the only Islander forward, or the only Islander with less ice time tonight than Oliver Wahlstrom.
And so how are you expecting him to produce? I just no. Oh my God, I couldn't watch Nashville. Nashville reminds me of Minnesota. They're another team I can't watch. And think about that. Think about Minnesota.
We play Minnesota. We play Minnesota here in a few games. So
I know. And just think about watching Minnesota without Kaprizov. I mean, without Spurgeon. Think about watching that team without those players. Oh, those are the worst games of the season for the Islanders last year. Or watchability factor, just the worst.
Well, no need to stay fixated on TV. Let's get through some comments here, Grumpy. Ponyberg Curtis, Grump.
Who are the top three forwards that are having the most disappointing year on the Islanders, and what top three forwards are having the most pleasantly surprising season of the forwards so far this year? I'll just give you the top three forwards and the worst three forwards. Casey Zizekas has been dog shit. Martin and Clutterbuck, I'll say.
So the fourth line is just the red X on it.
And for the top three, it'll be Nelson, Horvat, and Barzal. That's it. Everybody else is the throw.
I'll answer your question instead of just giving you whatever Grumpy wanted to fucking give you. So the most surprising here in a good fashion, I think it's Matt Barzal by a country mile. He's been the most positively surprising Islander that we've had. I think then as well, I think Brock Nelson, he continues to do everything that we expect him to do. He continues to not have his game fall off. I like what I've seen from Brock. He's been surprising again. And positive impact. Who else is
Horvat? How the fuck are you not picking Horvat? He's a point-a-game guy. You said he was going to go back to being a 40-point-a-year guy. He's got 40 points already. Go ahead. Don't be afraid to say Horvat.
It could be Horvat, sure. I mean, he's doing what he's being paid to do. He's doing what he's being paid to do. I wouldn't necessarily right. Like I'm thinking Brock. Right, Brock is still the fact that Brock is still playing at career levels year in year out. I think that does something for him.
He's been consistent. That's why
we've always talked about when could we see his game fall off, and it still hasn't.
I don't think he's surprising. You think he's surprising? I don't think he's surprising.
The fact that he's still playing at this high level, yes. And I think the same thing. I use the same exact thought process. The fact that Bo Horvat's still playing at the high level of a career year and a contract season, I think that means, he surprised me in a positive way as well this year. Disappointing players. Pierre Engvall, for the opportunity he's been given, I think looks like a wilting flower. I mean, that's the nicest way I'll put it.
I so disagree with everything you say.
Well, it would be cool if you,
guess what? Pierre Engvall is what he is. He's a third line player. The fact that we paid him to be a second liner, it's not his skill set.
If I told you that we were going to put him on the second line, play him 16 minutes a night, and he was going to average a point every 3 games, I'd tell you, that's disappointing. That's disappointing.
Oh, geez, man. Anders Lee got away with a freaking trip.
Okay. Cool. So I'm just going to get back to answering. I'll get back to answering my question, or answering the question there for Pony Boy. Yeah, mine is going to be Pierre Engvall. He's disappointed as a forward for me. I think at times, right, I thought Hudson Fasching was going to take more of a role, but they haven't really given it to him or given him the opportunity perhaps that they have. So Hudson Fasching has been disappointing a little bit this year for me. And you could just lane the entire fourth lineup as being disappointing. So Dart MP, Grump.
Wahlstrom or Gauthier, who's got the Lou nod at the moment? It's Gauthier. I don't think he thinks anything of Wahlstrom. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Jeremy Ford, Grump.
What's with Robin Salo's play of late? 1 goal, 7 assists, +5 in the last 4 games. What's the difference between Salo and Aho? I think that Salo is a better player than Aho. But, Aho, maybe he's not as consistent as Aho has been. To me, Aho is a number 7 defenseman. That's what he is. Salo has the ability to be better than that. But after the first 4 games last year, I don't think they give 2 shits about him either. Never give it another shot. I don't understand that. He was the prized defenseman, a year off season a year ago? He was the guy. Plays 4 games, then gets that whatever happens over in Finland. All of a sudden, they just no interest in him whatsoever.
No, nothing happened in Finland. Are you talking about the comments that he made about the organization, about Bridgeport? Are you mixed? Because remember, Sebastian Aho was the one who caught with the D.
Aho, right.
But yeah, we like when they were very specific on he blew a 0.1 and with a BCA. So, just being very clear about that, even though he got a DUI there in Sweden, he had a 0.1. You knew that they had plans for him. I thought the only reason they gave Robin Salo any sort of run was as a punishment to Sebastian Aho for having a DUI over the summer. They gave him a 4 game saying, yeah, we're not going to play you. You learn your lesson. And then Robin Salo was sent back to where they always envisioned him, which was going to Bridgeport. Now, was he given a fair shake and a fair run? I don't think so. But that's this organization. They do that with some players.
I guess if you don't want the guy for whatever reason because he breaks your whatever rules, trade him. Trade him while he has value. You see it over. And matter of fact, I even forgotten. Thank you, Jeremy, because I'd forgotten about Salo. He's been in the doghouse for so long. I forgot about him. When I watched him play, he was their best defenseman at Bridgeport. That much I can tell you. By far, the best defenseman at Bridgeport. And when they don't like you or you do something they don't like, they're going to let you rot on the vine till your career's over and then they'll cut you loose.
Gungun says, Grumpy, in the history of the show, did you ever take a pee-pee break? Yeah, he has.
I think once.
Done it more than once, but it's not as frequent as I do it.
Once.
Lies. Ponyboy Curtis.
Ponyboy says, like Grump, just admit that maybe I'm your take or projection of Holmes from this year was a little far off from being accurate. He looks like he has some poise and promise. I don't think much. You know what? You can replace him tomorrow. If he got injured, somebody else would slide in and you'd notice no difference. That's all I'll say.
I do agree.
No between him and all the other 3rd and 4th line Jags on our team. Nothing.
I agree that he's replaceable. That being said, a lot of bottom six guys are replaceable, right? Like if Zach Parise came in and they said, we have to replace Simon Holmstrom, I probably would take Zach Parise perhaps over Simon Holmstrom at this point. And I don't think a lot of if they were forced to say you have to, and like in this scenario, you have in order to bring Zach Parise back, Simon Holmstrom has to sit. Would you do that? I'd say yes.
Absolutely.
If you're trying to make a playoff push, I think Zach Parise brings more to the table than Simon Holmstrom. I'm not saying Simon Holmstrom won't be. I think he's a future bottom six guy, but like he's okay. Here's the thing. He's not what we originally thought, where he would be a guy who is in and out of the lineup and doesn't deserve to have a spot. I think he does deserve to have a spot, right? He's earned his spot. He deserves to have a spot. Now, he's been given every opportunity and then some to be placed in that spot, and some people have not been afforded that opportunity. So, that I agree, like the treatment of it sometimes is not fair, but that's professional sports sometimes.
Your analogy was great. At 38 years old, I would take Zach Parise over Simon Holmstrom every day of the week. Parise could play power play. He absolutely could play penalty kill. You know what he does on the penalty kill? He stays in position. You don't see him trying to fly the zone, trying to get a breakaway. You don't see him do that. He knows what his job is. His job is to kill a penalty. Okay. The Islanders' penalty kill is what? 31st in the league. It wasn't that when Parise was out there. That's all I'm going to say.
Ryan Richards says, "What's up, guys?" Yeah, I did. Ryan Richards. Islanders are moving the puck well. They're moving the puck good. My God, this game has just been a just bleh, boring. Bleh. Is X still starring comments? By the by,
no idea.
Okay. The Belmont Bully, says Ryan Richards. And then Rogue Gamer Grump.
Shannon and then Butch buys her martinis, and she eats hamburgers with me.
I don't know what that is. Shannon and then Butch. Oh, Shannon and then Butch buys her martini. What? X, we need the context before that comment. John Smith says, I kind of think if you're live streaming during the game, you should probably talk about the game. Grumpy is right again.
Otherwise, it's not a live stream. It's just a regular show. It's just a regular show.
Regular show with the show going on in the background, the game going on in the background. That's fine with me.
My God.
Yeah, are you entertained by tonight's game? This is a game.
Then don't say it's a live stream of the game. Just say it's a regular show.
Would that make you happier? Are you upset because you're not able to watch a little football game?
I think there are people who actually like to talk. Shit, I could just put on the Kansas City Dolphin game and watch that then.
I know that's why you're upset.
Want to talk about
that's why you're upset, because you want to be watching that game as we're talking Islanders.
Honestly, here's the thing. I think people honestly want to hear something about when you're doing a live stream of a game, they like to hear about the live stream of the game. They like to talk about the game, not TJ just having a regular show when the game is on. It means nothing, less than nothing.
You know what I got to say about that?
Here's TJ. Nothing, TJ. Nothing, TJ. John Smith says, "Oh, we already
read that, you fucking bastard."
I'll read it again because it makes me look good. JP says,
I know.
Honestly, I like the updates. Butch Goring is too legit to pimp himself out online for the low-life effers. I agree. He should. It's a bad move for Butch. Just move on. Don't talk to Bitchinette. Just don't do it. So
I don't care if you talk to Bitchinette. It's not about Bitchinette. It's about everybody else too out there.
But here's the thing. Bitchinette sucked him in. Here's the thing. He's a 4-time Stanley Cup winner. Bitchinette.
Correct.
He's like freaking Simon Holmstrom when he was playing. The same thing. Useless.
Butch Goring is a 4-time Stanley Cup winner who has a job as a professional telecaster working for the New York Islanders, an NHL hockey team. Well, there's 32 NHL hockey teams, and you're one of the telecasters who work for these 32 teams, where you've been doing that for years. You also are in you're one of the maybe not on the Mount Rushmore of Islanders, but pretty damn close to it. You don't need to be mixing it up and shit talking random anonymous Twitter users. Just come on. Rob G. Grumpy Old Man, he says, let's go Islanders. Frank Grumpy.
Why Aho? Yes, someone earlier mentioned Aho, who is given more time, who if given more time would develop, but Bolduc is better than Mayfield now. Why isn't he playing? Because you paid him, because you gave him $3.5 million for years, $3.5 million a year for 7 years. That's why. That's why you don't pay guys in their 30s. You don't give them 7-year extensions because now you're indebted to play them. It's just so dumb. And the old man makes the same stupid mistake over and over and over again.
Good says, what a difference between how this Predators goalie is playing, UC Saros is playing, to the lukewarm goalies the Islanders have faced over the past few weeks. Absolutely.
It's the difference in this game. They have Saros is playing because Saros is a good goalie. Sorokin's a good goalie, 0-0. If we were playing their backup, we'd be up 2-3 nothing.
And everybody'd be saying, Islanders are great. Everything is fantastic. But this shows you where it's like, we are so fortunate to have Sorokin. Anybody who, like, you could see the difference. It's a night and day difference when we play guys like Saros and we play shitty goaltenders like Hunter Shepard for the Washington Capitals, or we play other no-name goalies who play 0 NHL games and have just been called up. When we play the Applebees of the league, there's a big difference. We're very fortunate to have two very competent goalies. And you're right. If we're playing a shitty goalie, I think we're up maybe 2 goals. And we're like, hey, their telecast is everybody's all fantastic and happy. Road Gamer says here, George Soros made a couple of saves. Did 8 hear that right?
Did I hear that right?
Oh.
I don't think I said George Soros, did I?
I don't know. Maybe. John Smith.
TJ yelling at Grump all night about watching the game is all the entertainment I need.
You just can't multitask. That's the problem I have, Grump. You can't multitask.
So stupid. It's so stupid. It's scary.
You do not multitask well, Grump. The older you get, and the more it's noticeable, Grump. You don't multitask.
I watch the game and talk about the game.
No, you watch the game.
It's a live stream.
And then you talk about it.
It's a live stream. I like it. And a lot of times I listen to you prattle on about some ridiculous point, and we're like 3 or 4 minutes back from the point I wanted to make. I mean, you got to be smarter. Sorry. You're supposedly watching the game too.
I am watching the game. But guess what?
Why don't you comment on the game?
Has this game been entertaining?
It doesn't matter. Why don't you comment on it?
I am commenting about the game. Grumpy, first period, I thought we were the better team. Second period was like, oh shit. What am I watching? What are you? I'm commenting on the game right now, Grump.
Next. Yeah, the game's not on now.
Don't snap at me, Grump. Don't snap at me. You see it? Don't snap at me. You like that one, Grumpy? Yeah, here you go. Frank Grumpy.
TJ, I had an old friend who passed years ago. He had a great saying. One was, stop being stupid. Yes, TJ, it's a watch along. LOL.
TJ hates that Grumpy can watch a hockey game in peace.
It's true.
What I hate is that he just can't multitask. That's the problem I've got. Brainer 95.4 says, Holmstrom not only isn't Mike Bossy, he isn't Josh Bailey.
It's true. Bailey was actually better than him.
Yeah. I think
no, absolutely. Absolutely. Not yet. Really? He's on the fucking third liner. No.
I think
look at Bailey's numbers. Look at Bailey's numbers compared to this piece of shit.
I know.
There is no comparison. That's why he's Bailey 2.0. He's not even as good as the original. And it pains me to say that.
There you go. Jesus Christ. Frank
says TJ hated that Grumpy could do more than one thing at the same time. Rogue. LOL.
They must be fucking with you right now, Grumpy, because you do not multitask well.
They're not.
Oh, here you go, Grumpy.
Brainer 954 says, hey, Grumpy, if Marino played in San Francisco, we've got multiple. Okay, he didn't. Montana in Miami would have had 0. Okay, Montana was more clutch than Marino. Sorry. Those are just facts. Sorry. And I'm not saying Marino was a shitty quarterback. He was tremendously gifted. Just didn't win anything. Just not capable of it.
Gamer says, Grumpy, a different era. I'm not a Dolphins fan, but Reggie White, LT, etc., would have killed Brady. You can't touch quarterbacks now.
You realize when Brady first started in the league that he was getting lit up. That has actually stopped. That's like the last 6, 7, 8 years.
I'd say almost the last 5 years to decade. That's been kind of the
where now you can't even look at the quarterback. That's not the way it was when Brady came into the league.
That's the new law of the land. You can't go ahead and hit QBs. And but it wasn't always like that. That's
No,
right.
was not.
Frank says, "Yo, Preds, they keep hitting Barzal hard all the time. Time to pay. Time for them to pay back. Oh, Matt Martin, please report for duty." Yeah, I'm not even sure how much Matty Martz has got left in the tank.
Nothing. He's got nothing left in the tank. All right, I won't say nothing. He's got a shift a month.
One hard shift a month.
All right, no, I don't even want to say that. There are games where you'll see the fourth line have 3 or 4 good shifts in a row, and then they go back into a coma for weeks at a time. Fourth line's done. But here's the thing. We got a whole raft of fourth line players. You could dump all of them off and fill anybody else in those roles. Anybody. Freedom Front Bench says if the Islanders cannot begin retooling this year, they can't really add. Exactly. Lee is fading fast. True. Others will. And there are the underachieving players like Engvall. See, I disagree with that. Lou always takes the path of least resistance. He's not underachieving. He is what he is. He's the player he's always been. There's nothing different between Pierre Engvall now and what he did in Toronto. Nothing. Just saying he had a good 15 games in a contract year for the Islanders at the end of the year. Okay. Look at the full, and that's the one thing Lamoriello doesn't do. He doesn't look at the full body of work. He'll look at the snapshot and determine, oh, okay, well, this is what he's going to be because that's the snapshot. No, it's not the case. Just not the case. And there's a long track record for Engvall, for Pajot, for Palmieri. These all guys have long track records. Even Horvat, who's performing extremely well. Horvat was never a first-line player for Vancouver. He was second-liner. Here he's a first-liner, and he's doing well with Barzal. But on a good team, he's not a first-line player.
To give you an update on the item we were talking about earlier, Oliver Wahlstrom, right? He's the only Islander who's not in double-digit shifts yet tonight, and he's got the least minutes of ice time. It's funny. Matty Martins goes ahead and takes a penalty. And he gets more ice time still than Oliver Wahlstrom. Yeah, Oliver Wahlstrom, least amount of ice time out there on the ice tonight. Hard to, like, we talk about setting players up for success. They've not done that with Oliver Wahlstrom.
True.
Frank Grumpy.
Yep, players know how to earn penalties. That was weak. Refs got to be able to see he was taking a dive. Okay, don't complain about it, Frank, because Parise and Palmieri and Lee and Barzal, they're all real good at doing that too. That's why I don't complain about the penalties much, because we do it all the time as a veteran-laden team. That's what we do all the time. All the time.
Yes.
So don't complain when one goes against your way. Tim J says we should trade Wahlstrom. If we are not going to play him, package him with Varley for at least a second-line player. Varley has no trade clause. We do have first-round pick, though.
Yeah, Varley's not going anywhere. He has a full no-trade clause.
And who will trade for him now with the injury?
And Oliver Wahlstrom does it. I mean, like, 0 points. Oliver Wahlstrom, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he'll have 0 points tonight. He'll play 10 minutes of ice time. Sporadically, he'll be benched for time periods of 10-plus minutes at a time. Hard to get, consistent play going, hard to get your groove going, and he has no value. Absolutely zero value. We've killed any sort of intrinsic value he has.
Road Gamer says, Bo Jackson, best athlete ever. Very possible. Very possible.
Fashing is on the second line tonight.
So Barzal is playing the third line, right? Is he playing third? Okay. You notice the first line's done nothing tonight? Nothing. Second line, every once in a while in the zone. Third line, well, they're too busy checking. Who the hell knows why? Whatever. Gungun says, has Romanov been playing better as of late? I mean, he hasn't seemed to commit as many game-altering blunders as he did last year and earlier this season. I will say, since he's less noticeable, that yes, he's better. Because I usually only notice him when he's doing dumb shit.
I think, like, in games like this, right, he's not noticeable in a good way or a bad way, which is nice. But it's from him, what I want to see is consistent play. I want to see him be level-headed, and the less I notice him absolutely grumpy, the better things are. But to mention, yes, Oliver Wahlstrom's on the first line with Lee and Horvat is who he's paired up with. Don't ask me how. He's got the least amount. He's only got 9 shifts. He has 9 shifts of ice time tonight and 7 minutes of action. The least amount of ice time out of any Islander out there if he's playing on the first line. I don't understand.
Third period underway, and Romanov just fucking ices the puck. I'm just like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
He's back up to those great Romanov plays. Romanov's goals against the Toronto Maple Leafs was a hell of a shot.
I didn't see
thoughts on that goal, Grump? You didn't.
I didn't see it. I did not see the whole Toronto game. I just got the end.
Okay, I'll pull that up. You go, Grump.
I think we were podcasting at that time.
No, the game was over by the time period we started our other podcast. But I
didn't see it. Gugu says, if the Islanders manage to win tonight, what does it all mean in the grand scheme of things?
Nothing.
I think even if they lose, I mean,
I think if we lose, it means a lot more than if we win.
I don't think it. I mean, we tend to lose to Nashville a lot. I don't know. Nashville putting a lot of pressure on the start here in the third period, though.
Do you want to look at that Romanov goal?
Sure.
Okay. On the way in, off the stick of Alex Romanov. Romanov, rink wide for Barzell. He surveys, drops for Romanov. Speeding in, he scores! Down the way.
Couldn't see it.
You can't see it. It's going too fast.
It skipped.
Okay, I'll put it in slow-mo for you, Grumpy. It's a nice little play all the way around, right? Romanov goes ahead and feeds the puck here to Matty B. Matty B goes ahead once it's now.
Nylander loses stick. Nylander loses his stick.
It's his Bertuzzi playing without the stick, my friend. Not Nylander. But Bertuzzi's without the stick in no man's land doing nothing. And my God, like, look at his ass. He does absolutely nothing here. You just can't. You've gotten a situation where whoop, it's like a practice shot, and he buries that shit. Whoop, bang, top shelf, hell of a wrister. That's one where looking back on it, Toronto's like, shit, we should have done a little bit better defensively.
What did everyone do? They all went to Barzell. They went to Barzell and they let him walk in. That's what they did. They went after the player on the team who has the most ability, and they let the lesser player just walk in. It was bad defense by Toronto. Somebody needed to pick him up. And it all started because Bertuzzi does not have a stick. There's nothing he can do. Look at him. Look at him. No one even goes after him.
He doesn't do anything. He's just standing still. Bertuzzi doesn't move at all.
Yep.
And I mean, like that's a terrible sequence by him. And that's a hell. I mean, like, here's the thing. Romanov gets himself in a good spot. He fucking buries this. And I like to see that he buries that shit top shelf. There's no way in hell Martin Jones has a chance of stopping that puck. That's a great shot by him. A good job by Romanov there. So that's one where it's more of, I think, on the defense of Toronto than anything else.
Reminds you of some of those Scott Mayfield shots.
Yes, it does. Of yesteryear. JP Grumpy says, holy cow, is Nathan McKinnon good?
He absolutely is.
John Smith, Grump.
Nucks 5 Nucks and 4 Leafs to the All-Star game. What's the deal with that? I thought every team had to have a player.
You got the vote-ins, Grump.
Oh, man, I tell you what. Nashville putting pressure on here. Sorokin was caught out of position to just a bad pass, honestly.
So, yeah, to answer your question, or at least what's the deal with that, I think the Canucks make sense. The Leafs does not. I think the Leafs is like, right, Austin Matthews has to be it, but they get a lot of the people, the fan vote, right? Like, here's the thing. Are we going to see Noah Dobson in the All-Star game? Probably not. Same thing with Bo Horvat. Probably not. So
Dobson should make it before Horvat.
I agree with that. But like they do it like all based off of fan vote, and for like, I don't know. I've never been a big fan of that. Check out his goal, JP says, with Nathan McKinnon.
I don't have a problem. I mean, the All-Star game is a fans game. It should be the players the fans want to see. It means nothing. It's a fans game.
Okay. Freedom Fund Event, Grumpy.
You know, Grumpy, the game was before my time, but just to confirm, both professional teams played on the same field. Great generals pick the ground they fight on. Okay. You're wrong. Sorry. TJ playing the cheating Pat snowplow. That was absolutely, I mean, they had the guy come out, and of course, you know, Shula being the whiny little bitch that he always was, he complained, oh, this guy was, you know, he was a prisoner who came out and he ran the snowblower, and he did. Okay, but here's the thing. He was out of prison at that time. And yes, now you can't do that anymore. You know what? That was a 3-0 game.
What are you talking about? This is ridiculous. I don't know the lore of this. You're going to have to give me more information.
He's talking about the Jets and the Dolphins. You always cover the field. Always. Fields are always covered until, you know, before game time, day of game. It was a monsoon, and he didn't cover the field overnight, and it was a freaking mud bowl. Pull it up, TJ. You can look and just see how.
I've got the McKinnon goal. Do you want to see the McKinnon goal first, real quick?
Sure.
Just keeping on topic here. Here's the McKinnon goal to make this 4-3 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's put that here. I'll put it in slow-mo, so hopefully it doesn't skip for you. If I'm having internet issues or you are, we'll make sure hopefully it doesn't have an issue.
I mean, he's great with the puck. That's when the goalie wants back.
Martin Jones, yeah, he wants that one back.
Martin Jones sucks.
Now, I will ask you this. Where is the rest of Toronto's defense? I don't see penalty kill here. So I assume this is 5-on-5. You've got 4 Colorado guys before you've got 4 Toronto Maple Leafs. And whoop, he pots it in the back of the net.
Yeah. Well, because it was they pick off the pass at center ice coming in. I mean, that's their first line going out there.
No, they've got the puck.
Okay, it's 3-on-2 coming. 3-on-2 coming into the zone. 3-on-2.
We should see our Toronto forwards hustling back is what we should see here in this frame.
We don't know what happened before.
That's correct. I just said that. I don't know if it's on a penalty kill. I assume it's not, but it's like your late trailer here, Matthews, probably wants to get there.
That goal's on the goalie. That's on the goalie. He just stands there, wrist shot, just gets beat. Just no. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, he did a nice move. The defenseman was scrambling, and he just, you know, slammed on the brakes. That's it. Nobody else coming to him. That's not to say he's not a great player. He absolutely is. Top 5 player in the league, any way you look at it, right?
Frank, grumpy old man.
Are you going to pull up the Jets-Dolphins game in that field?
Did you want? We could do it today. I didn't know if you want to do that tomorrow on the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show. Seeming that this is an hour podcast, but we could do that today. I don't care.
I don't care either one. And right now the shots are 18-17, so 7-0 shot. 7-0, I think, shots on goal. Third period for Nashville. Frank says you're spot on, Grumpy Old Man. Mayfield's contract reminds me of that bum on the Yankees with the fake eyebrows. I don't know who he's talking about, but there's a lot of underperforming Yankees with extent. Maybe he's talking about Stanton, Rondon. There's so many bad contracts that Cashman has signed over the years.
It's the snowplow game in 1982. Is that the one you're talking about?
Not the snowplow game. You can put the snowplow game in there too if you want. It's a short clip. It's the Jets and the Dolphins game in the AFC Championship. I think it was 1980 maybe. Something along that time frame.
It was in 1982?
Maybe in 1982.
Okay. What am I supposed to be looking for on this?
Just the field conditions. Anytime. AJ Dewey interception for a touch. Look at the field. That's all you need to do is look at the field conditions. Tell me NFL. Tell me the NFL likes fields like that.
You could definitely see It looks like it's a little muddy. Yeah, that's probably the nice way I'll put it. It looks a little bit like there's some mud on the field. Let me turn off the volume so I don't have to worry about hearing this. Let's take a look here. Yeah, this is just a muddy game to where the field looks like it's beaten to shit. Yeah, you could definitely tell where the field is not destroyed, but yeah, it's the field looks like it's absolute shit.
Ooh, nice play by Pellick.
You wanted me to pull this up. Is there anything you wanted to comment on it, Grump?
Yeah. The old man didn't cover the field. And Walt Michaels lost his freaking mind. He was the head coach of the Jets. Absolutely lost his mind. The Jets were so much better than Miami that year. So that was the equalizer. Turn the field. Instead, when you got a team that likes a fast track, what do? You muddy up the field. That's what he did. But you know what?
Well, don't worry. The Dolphins have paid for it for the next, 30 years because with their play. So it finds a way to make itself all even grumpy.
Let's say 41 years. And after tonight, it'll be 42.
Oh, man. Here you go. Freedom Fund Adventure, Grump.
If the Islanders cannot begin retooling this year, we already read this one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Maybe extra. Okay.
Green says Thomas Hickey more comfortable in his own skin this season. I think he couldn't be worse than he was last year. And a lot of these guys, it takes a while until they get their feet under them. I mean, it said you have to be able to just be glib with comments, just can't be stiff. That's the biggest thing. Got to be yourself.
State of survival, Grumpy.
Grumps, you remember a couple of podcasts ago you mentioned the name Cutter was dumb. His real name is William. Cutter is just his nickname. Okay. Cutter Gauthier we're talking about.
He requested Cutter to be used because he thought it would improve his career. I don't know if this sounds made up, but I'm not sure. This has to be made up.
Did you remember a William William Gauthier or Cutter Gauthier? It's absolutely Cutter.
I've never heard of this, his name being William Gauthier. I'm telling you, the game has started to open up a little bit, which is nice to see.
Well, shots are 18-18, so the Islanders not doing much in the third period. This is a common refrain. 19-18 shots on goal for the Predators. You're right. The game has opened up a little bit. Oh, my God.
That's what I want to see. Great. I'm happy the game's starting to open up a bit.
Oh, my goodness. Come on. Hustle back. All right. We got a guy back. Nice save by Sorokin. Nice hustle. Let me give Anders Lee a little bit of credit hustling back there. Give him a little bit of credit.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Because he makes it to where it's a more impeded upon 2-on-1. Instead of it being a 2-on-1, he forces that shot. Hell of a job by Anders Lee, right? Fighting out there on the ice. I like to see that. Now, here's the thing. Just like we'd mentioned, it's going to be a 0-0 game that goes to shootout. And, if we lose, people are going to be like, we got a point, guys. This is okay. Everything is good. But tonight is another game where I'm like, we're struggling to beat the Nashville Predators? ?
I think they're actually in position for a playoff spot right now. But it's like the Flyers being in playoff contention. Same thing.
Well, I think the Flyers have more of a legitimate shot to make the postseason than you do. And I've been saying that all year long. When do we start entertaining the Flyers as a real team that can make the postseason? You refuse to. Maybe at game 81 or 82, you'll start having that conversation. But as I've mentioned multiple times on the show, and I'll mention again now, I guess we could start adding this to the list of the times that I'm mentioning this. John Tortorella teams sometimes well overperform the actual parts and pieces they have. And I'm wondering if this is one of the years that his team outperforms the pieces that they have and they're able to make the postseason. It would not shock me.
Freedom Fun Adventure says, God loved Joe Montana. Montana would toss it up. It would go on circles and somehow find a wide receiver. Marino would have won, but Shula got tenderhearted and wouldn't fire defensive coordinator Oliver Daddy. Okay. No. Oh, fuck. I haven't explained all these things to people on this podcast when it should be on the other show. Shula was the reason why they never won. It wasn't that he didn't fire the defensive coordinator. It was the fact that they had the quick score offense and the defense was out there all game. He never did enough to improve the defense. That was all the way through. They were the high flying, throw the ball down the field. The 49ers used the short passing game, the West Coast offense from Bill Walsh, and just nickel and dime down the field. It wasn't all just throwing the ball up. It wasn't. He utilized John Taylor. Think about John Taylor, Jerry Rice. He had Roger Craig in the backfield. He had Tom Rathman. He had Earl Cooper at one point in time. They knew what they were doing, the 49ers. They were the first team using the West Coast offense. That's why they were so good. I mean, that's like today's 49er offense, where any quarterback can come in and be successful. Even Noodles is successful to a certain level with using that 49er offense with the Miami Dolphins. Elvis Gerback looked good playing for the 49ers. It just, I don't know. And here's the thing. Marino was not good in big games. Absolutely not. When David Overstreet died, that hurt Miami because he was a really good running back from Oklahoma, and he showed it playing in his limited time in Miami. They never had a running game. It was always passing game. The Dupers, the Marks, Duper and Clayton. That's what it was. I mean, he was throwing for 4,700 yards when nobody else was even touching 4. I mean, he was good. They were not good in big moments, period. Just weren't. JP says, woo-woo. Islanders Pred 0-0. Soccer on ice, more fun than a frog in a glass of milk. Frida Buncher says, if the Islanders trade for Zegras, I want Johnston included in the return package. Martin is beyond done. He's not coming back here. That's not happening. I mean, what do we have to offer Anaheim that they would take? I think that's the biggest thing. What do we have that Anaheim wants that we can afford to give up? That's the biggest issue. I don't think we're a match for them. He's a young, talented player. What do they want? Old, shitty ones? I don't think that works. Stater Survival says, Wahlstrom does not hustle. He's either out of shape or a naturally lazy, slow guy after a play. He takes forever to reset and get back into the play. Well, when you don't play, I don't know what you can expect from him. Are you trying to say Anders Lee hustles back on every play? He does not. You look at when he's given some actual playing time, he's okay and he hustles back. I don't know what you're looking for. He's a scorer. He's a guy who's a natural goal scorer, should be on the first line. Putting him with Lee and Horvat, that line's invisible. There's no one to create on that line. No one. That's why it's a problem tonight. Frank from Empire State says Martin got in a fight the other night, and he's had some great shots on net. He plays fired up after he sits a few games. Well, he's been sitting like 15 games in a row, so he should come in fired up. John Smith says Romanov is not headhunting anymore, so he's not noticeably out of position all the time anymore. They neutered him. No more big hits. Well, you know what? Good. Because when he's busy trying to run somebody, it leaves his partner out to hang him out to dry. He's always like that. I mean, and he still does it periodically, but it's been less noticeable the last 10 games or so. Maybe the fact that he's playing with Noah Dobson makes him look better too. Mr. Meat says, the game, you guys, we want to hear you talk about the game. That's what I say too. Right now, they're showing a third period comparison. The first 35 games, the Predators have only scored 23 games in the third period. The last 7, 13. Well, they have 0 in tonight's game. And you're looking at a couple of fans here, and they look like they've been drugged. That's what happens when you play for the Nashville Predators and that boring style. It's not fun to watch. Just not. Road Gamer says all-star games are transgender now. I think Bo Horvat would have to have surgery, I think. I don't know about that. Road Gamer also adds, he's a couple from Road Gamer, quite a few. Bo Horvat should fake an injury to get surgery earlier for next year on Peacock. Grumpy's still mad when Marino faked, spiked, and beat the Jets. No, that was a smart play, and it's one of the Jet lowlights in their history. And we're talking about the thoughts on Marino's fake spike. Just touched on it. Gungu says, Did Shula's sneaky tarp maneuver cost Walt Michaels a job? It helped. It absolutely did. That's what got you the Joe Walton era. How'd that turn out?
Are you still talking freaking football, Grump?
Goon Goon says, does that make Shula a slob? No, I just think that, for a lot of people think that, he's sainted this. There was no difference between him and every other freaking coach. They're all looking for every advantage to win, period. Carlos says, feel bad for Wallstrom. I think he has so much potential, should play every day. Hope he doesn't end up like Hosang. He'll be moved. I think he'll be moved. Why would they keep him, honestly? Frank from Empire State says, Wally has moves and incredible shot, which makes up for his not great skating. Yeah, he's not a great skater, but you want to know what? He's a guy who shoots the puck. He's a goal scorer. That's what he is.
We have a lot of guys on this team that are not great skaters, but they manage to find ice time.
Oh, man. Soros with a big save there on Clutterbuck. He kind of double clutched it a little bit.
Islanders score.
Dobson scores.
Pajot scores.
Oh, okay. He must have deflected from Dobson's shot.
And that's the game.
Yep.
The Islanders win 1-0.
Yep.
So
Soros has played great today, but again, Dobson putting it in a spot for it to be deflected by Pajot. Let's see.
Yes.
Yep.
Pajot deflects it in.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So again, Dobson with another point, another assist, another primary assist here. Nice deflection there by Pajot, and that's the game.
Looked like a slap pass from Dobson too.
Yep, it was a great job. I'm telling you, Noah Dobson. Why we scored tonight? One reason. Noah Dobson.
Yep.
That's it. It's the only reason we've got any points on the board here tonight.
And Soros has looked really, really good today.
Nothing you can do about that.
I mean, honestly, I don't see anything from Nashville that leads me to believe that they can score goals. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
They suck.
They're one of the worst offensive teams in the league, at least based on what I'm seeing. And it's not like they haven't had opportunities. They're just not talented. Sorry.
I'm like, man, I would love. Now, Noah Dobson is now assisted on 5 straight Islander goals. He assisted on all 4 goals against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then tonight's goal.
Well, he's the guy. He's our best defenseman by far.
It's not even close. I'm telling you, he's the only reason our teams have. Without him, I don't even want to know what things would look like for this team. Now, I expect Nashville to start dialing up pressure. I'm not expecting them to score. I think this game is over. This is a 1-0 win for the New York Islanders over the Nashville Predators is the way I would classify this as. So they've looked good. The Islanders here, I mean, they were getting some pressure on them. They go ahead and execute when they need to. It's been a boring game to this point, but I'd say buckle in. I'd expect there would be a lot of action.
Honestly, Nashville has predominantly dominated the third period, except for that brief little stretch.
Yep.
And that's the goal for us. There you go. And this is why we're not good enough to beat good teams. This game is the reason why we're not good enough to beat good teams.
Yep.
Because you're not going to beat a good team by showing up for 2 minutes in the third period. You're just not. Just not.
Get ready to white knuckle it for the last 7 minutes of tonight's game, because that is what I expect us to do.
I just don't think they're very good.
We're going to load 5 guys within about a 5-foot radius of the net, or maybe a 10-foot radius of the net, hoping and praying that we block every shot opportunity. What we're going to do here is we're going to play turtle shell hockey for the last 7 minutes, and we're just going to line everybody in front of the net, hoping to block shots.
It looks like they're doubling up Dobson. He's playing with Romanov and with Pelech now. Well, you know what?
Gotta play your
got
best.
to do it. Now it was a turnover. But Dobson, nice job once again. Just smooth. He just smooth defensively.
Yeah.
Trip.
And the Preds are going back to the power play. Jesus
Palmieri.
Christ.
Palmieri. It was. But, here's the thing. What did Palmieri stop doing? Stop moving his feet. Stop moving his feet, reached in with the stick, and the guy made a nice move cutting the other side. That's that.
Here's the thing. If we didn't go and just sit everybody back and lay everybody back and just say, oh, gotcha, we just want to block every shot that comes our way, we wouldn't be in this spot. But you're absolutely right. It's a trip that he commits there on it. Now, here's the thing. The Predators haven't looked – the third period they've looked better, but they've looked awful tonight.
They're horrible. They're horrible on the power play. They look like our power play from last year. Honestly, horrible. They're horrible. They're terrible on power play. Matter of fact, I don't even know if they've had any shots on the power play tonight. I mean, I know they've had numerous power play opportunities. They just keep throwing the puck. They keep throwing the puck out of their own zone.
There's a save. There's at least one shot.
He's smooth. He's smooth. He's in the groove, without a doubt.
Now, Forsberg, Philip Forsberg is one of the only guys who scores for this team, and he usually scores in droves. But it looks like he's the guy who puts the puck on that. That was a nice little glove save. And look at this. You have a guy for Nashville that's screening Sorokin unimpeded, just allowing him to sit there and screen the goal. You got to make sure.
Oh, broken stick for Nashville. That's Nashville. That's Nashville in a nutshell right there. Guy takes a slap shot, breaks his stick.
The head of the stick looked like it went into the stand.
It exploded.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Thomas Rudy says here, Norris Dobson to the All-Star game.
Nice. I like it.
I do like that too. Yeah, my God. Look at this. He fucking sent that other half of the stick flying. Oh my gosh.
It's the composite sticks. Yeah, you shoot it faster, but they've won. I can't tell how many faceoffs they've won now.
Remember, that used to be the big thing. Oh, well, we care about how
many. Another big save by Sorokin.
Yeah, this team does not look threatening at all. They'll get some zone time. And I was just listening when I walked away. I was listening to the telecast there for the Preds. They're like,
wow,
God, who the fuck is on the ice to get undressed like that?
Christ.
Jesus Christ. Mayfield. Oh, no.
Mayfield.
Romanoff and Dobson were out there.
But Dobson was the only guy back. Romanoff. He walked past Romanoff.
Man.
That was a nice move, though. I mean, he walked past everybody.
Was that
again?
They
turn the puck over every single time that they.
That was Simon Holmstrom. That was Simon Holmstrom trying to go ahead and.
Of course, that's what he does. Thank you, Simon, for proving my point. He's always looking to run the zone. It's just, dude, play your fucking position.
Yeah, this game is.
That's it. I mean, they had a couple of opportunities and they couldn't. Sorokin makes a couple of saves, but nothing threatening.
Sorokin's been big tonight. He's done a great job. And really, what's the difference in this game? Noah Dobson makes a great slap pass, and our goalie has been
great. He's been really good in goal. I won't even say he's been great. He's been real smooth.
He's done what he needed to do tonight.
Why are there 4 guys behind the net for us? Oh my God, they just want to play with it.
This team does not look threatening at all.
Not at all. And this number 77.
Are you fucking serious? Wow. With 5 seconds left on the power play, Nashville ties the game up.
There's little Floppy, the guy who just went down on the penalty.
Is this a joke?
I wonder if it was deflected.
Oh my God.
I mean, look at the shots this period, though. Look at the shots. I think wasn't it like 18-10 going into the period, and now it's 28 to 23. So it's like 18-5. We've been outshot this period. That's just a good shot. It's a good shot, right? Over the shoulder.
And Pellick doesn't get out there. Oh my God. I don't know
look at him, just defeated. It's just like
what the hell was Pellick doing? Did that bounce off his stick, or was he upset? What the hell is that?
I don't know. I still think the Islanders going to win this game.
I do too. I think we win in overtime or shootout, and its game is going to. I'm shocked the Predators score.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. The Predators have been the better team in the third period, and it's not even been close, except for that little 2-minute period where we scored.
2-minute stretch. Yeah,
we've been not good. Is somebody okay? Who's missed? Why? Who's not having a stick? Is that fucking piece of shit? It's Aho. Aho, get to the bench. Get a stick.
He started grabbing the Predators guy's stick and just started holding on to prevent him from shooting.
He can't be down low trying to handle a guy in front of the net without a stick. Somebody's got to get him a stick. You can't have him be down low.
Oh my God.
Okay, there's interference.
As it said, Dobson,
Dobson got away with a little
don't be
interference
dumb and
there.
take a penalty here. Please don't be stupid.
3 minutes 45 seconds to go.
Oh my God.
I honestly thought the game was over.
I thought the game was iced as well. This Nashville team has looked absolutely just miserable.
There's no threat.
Oh, nice move by Horvat. Holy shit. Huge move by Horvat.
What a save by Soros.
What a fucking move by Horvat. My God, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Finally, Barzell on the top line.
Wow, we put Matty B back out there with Bo Horvat. You know what that means? We've benched Oliver Wahlstrom. We've benched Wahlstrom. Like, people are like, Wahlstrom didn't put up any points. Well, it's because they say we're going to play you 7 or 10 shifts with Andersley and Bo Horvat, and then you're going on the bench.
What a move by Horvat. What a save by Soros. And there's fucking Andersley.
Andersley fucking
he sucks. He blows. Glad he makes $7 million. How many more years? 3 more after this? Ugh.
Oh,
how's that looking?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how many minutes Oliver Wahlstrom's played in this period. I say probably not many.
Not much.
He's played 30 seconds of ice time this period.
I mean, it's like, he's getting a shot to play. Yeah.
30 minutes. Think about it. We're 17 minutes into the third period, and he's played 30 seconds of ice time. Has he been the problem? Has he been the issue tonight? No, he's not. But you never, right? Like, my gosh. He's played 7 minutes and 41 seconds of ice time. He's the only Islander that's not in double digits or at least 10 plus minutes of ice time. Think about that.
Matt Martin has gotten more
significantly more ice time.
Why is he on the first line if you're only going to give him 7 minutes a night? What does that even make sense?
It does not.
Does that make any sense? And the first line has been invisible until Barzell's back on it.
Trust me, it's not a mystery. Matt Barzal has been the biggest. Like, we knew what he could do, but this year he's taken his game to a whole different level. He's the only reason that line is successful. He's the only thing that drives that line. It's that simple. Oliver Wahlstrom's had 11 shifts tonight. 11 shifts in 7 minutes and 40 seconds.
I'd like to just touch on a few of these comments that have been started.
Let's look here. John Smith.
No, you got it. The first one says, TJ, shut the fuck up and don't jinx the game. That's from Frank. Then John Smith, 7 minutes left, TJ. Cool it with the game is over talk. Rogue Gamer says, the game isn't over. Frank says, let's go Islanders. And then John says, not like we haven't blown 15 leads this year. LOL.
Yeah, I'm just shocked. I really didn't think that was even possible.
I'm surprised also.
Look at this. John Smith, grumpy.
-1 for TJ. I like that.
Oh, no. This is all your fault, TJ. Just so you know. No, I have no bearing at all on what these professional athletes do. But I will say, it's just like, I'm shocked by it.
I'm watching Nashville telecast. I do like how they show who's won the faceoff. And Brock Nelson's been really good on faceoffs until this pivotal one. And he loses that one to Decisions, who had been miserable all day. 6 for 16. Okay, nice keep in by the Islanders. Oh, Engvall, he's going to lose the puck along the wall. He certainly did. Romanoff, nice pass over to Dobson. Pass deflected. Dobson gets it back again. Nice pickoff there. I'll tell you what, though. You can tell they play the Barry Trotz style.
Yes.
Just we're going to try to just get in the way, have active
chip and chase. Hopefully the other team makes a mistake.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't jinx it. It's this guy, Ryan Richard. Ryan Richard says he jinxed it, not me. I didn't jinx anything. Frank, grumpy old man.
Yeah, TJ. You and your freaking big millennial mouth. You're lucky you're not next to me.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you, the Predators now are starting to dial up some pressure.
They've been like this. The whole period has been like this.
I mean, it's starting to get more open.
Again, but see, they can't handle a puck. Pass right to him. He misses it and goes out of the zone. It's like you got to keep the puck in the zone, fella.
TJ said negative, says Rogue Gamer. No.
TJ's a negative.
JP says,
give Evangelista the credit. He picked it. Yeah, it was a good shot by him. Give him credit. Grumpy will get us a win if TJ doesn't act trans.
I don't know what any of that means. The Dolphins suck. This coach should get fired.
It's not the coach's fault. It's not the coach's fault. It's
Yeah.
a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback.
Who blows? I mean, it's that simple. It's Tyreek left, Tyreek right, Tyreek up the middle all season long. And guess what? When it gets cold and you can't throw the ball more than like 5 yards downfield, you're not going to be able to do much. Overtime, right? 1 minute and 46 seconds left remaining in this game. It's opened up a lot. I feel like this going to overtime. We've got a lot of overtime wins and losses this year. A lot of our games go to overtime. Again, as we'd mentioned, this could be detrimental if you're tied with any other teams because they look at regulation wins as a big one. So I just hate the fact that we're not getting a lot of wins in regulation.
The Islanders only have 14 wins in regulations in 41 games. That's not good.
About a fourth of our games come in regulation wins, and this will not be one that we add to the list. Frank
says it was stupid of Lane to separate Matty B and Horvat. Yeah, I don't know why.
The team had looked so miserable without on the prior. We lost 4 out of 5 games or something like that. It's the reason they're just trying to change stuff up. Thomas Rudy Grump.
Yeah, I'm going to say this Nashville team looks really like the old Islander teams where they just kind of pick it up.
Hold on. Thomas Rudy. Nashville played last night?
I don't know. Did they?
No way. Did they?
Oh, yeah, I think they did. Oh, my gosh.
So we're playing another team on the second half to a back-to-back?
I guess.
I didn't know Nashville played last night. Hold on a second. I did not know they played last night.
Islanders
they played yesterday. They beat the Stars 6-3. Wow. Okay.
Islanders just looking to make sure they get the 1 point, just dump it in and
just lay everybody back.
That's it. Just dump it in. Playing the fourth line. Why the hell is the fourth line out here in the last minute of ever?
Oh, fuck.
30 seconds left. Oh, come on. Come on, Scott. Don't fuck with it behind the net. No. Okay. Deflection. We're getting away with a lot of interference and holding in front of the net.
We are getting away with a lot. I mean, we're just sliding into the press. What?
Oh my God!
Are you kidding me? What?
Can't lose.
Season's over. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Again, but here's the thing: just throwing yourself all over the ice instead of playing,
standing up and playing your fucking position instead of laying down trying to block a whole bunch of shit because you start getting in scramble mode. You've got to do better than that.
Terrible loss. Terrible loss.
Mayfield.
Yeah,
and then who else next? Anders Lee. Matt Martin. Matt Martin and fucking Mayfield.
Oh, deflection, and it's deflection goal off of.
Mayfield. Jesus, that breaks the stick.
Yep. I bet here's the thing. I bet you the lead Lamanite's going to blame Sorokin on that. Again, 2 guys just diving on the ice. Stay on your feet. Stay on your feet. How much did Riley play in the third period? I didn't look like we saw him much tonight.
Mike Riley only played 14 minutes and 29 seconds of ice time. Noah Dobson still playing over 26 minutes a night. Or over 25 minutes a night.
Who's the defenseman? Was Noah out there at the end, or was it somebody else?
Mayfield. I don't know who else. I'll go back. Hold on a sec, Grump. I'll tell you who's out there.
It's a bad loss. It's a bad loss.
Which is worse, that or the jersey loss we had earlier on this year where we blew a lead and with less than 10 seconds left. Which 10-second left blown lead is worse?
Worse because Jersey's a better team.
God damn. It was Pellick and Mayfield out there on the ice. What the fuck? You know what? I'm going to let you watch this. The 2 slows, I'll let you watch this real quick and let you watch it how pathetic this is. Let me try to put it in slow. I don't know how slow I can put it. Watch this, Grump. Here's it. Your son X and their little boys are over here not being able to. I got to mute this conversation because they just won't stop blowing up my phone. Okay. Let me mute that conversation here so we can watch here, Grump.
And
here it is.
3-1. That's game.
Look at this by Pellick first off, right? We're just Look at this shit. It's just a mad scramble trying to keep the puck out of the net. Just look at this. Doop, 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 doop. Pellick on the ground. Mayfield on the ground. Now we got Matty Martin on the ground.
Lee on the ground. That was Lee, wasn't it?
No, Matt Martin.
Okay.
The fourth line
out there in the last 40 seconds of a game, right? Did I not call it? You can't have the fourth line out there. Ever. Never freaking ever should they be on the ice. Ever.
Jesus
Why
Christ.
is Pajot centering the fourth line?
Because we're without Casey Cizikas now.
I don't care. Don't break up the lines. You got to have Barzal on the first line.
I'm
loss.
Oh my God. Like leading up to this too was just like, you're right. Look at that. We had just changed. Look at this. We just went off for a change. We just had okay, let's go for a little change here. We just went to a change where you dump the puck. We're just happy sitting back. We're just happy leaving everybody behind, and they put pressure on, and they were rewarded for it. Look at this shit. Mayfield not able to clear the puck.
That's right. That he's playing with it. I even said
playing with it in the corner. Behind the net. What he was hoping to do was hoping he could tie the puck up for the last few. Who is this? Oh my God!
Honestly, we got away with some.
He didn't clear the puck. Matt Martin had the puck again, and he didn't clear it either. You had both Mayfield and Martin who had the puck with less than 30 seconds and didn't clear the fucking zone. Wow.
No.
Wow.
Terrible loss. Terrible loss. Absolutely terrible loss.
Yikes. It's about the only thing I can say to that. 3-1 loss to the Nashville Predators, who I didn't even know until the third period played the night before. Usually if you play the night before, you're kind of tired. You wouldn't expect them to turn up the pressure and the effort in the third period.
I mean, they absolutely
outplayed us in the third period.
Absolutely. I mean,
I thought we were the better team in the first period, but we didn't really do much to capitalize and show for it. In the second period, it was just a blah affair. Third period, Predators took it to us. I thought when we scored that goal, I'm like, all right, gotcha. This game's in the bag.
Game over.
Yeah.
I thought game was over.
So did I. Did you guys see Mahomes' helmet crack? No.
Well, it's cold.
Here's Frank.
What were shots on goal by period?
I'll pull up. I'll pull all that up. Grumpy, let's get through some comments here just to make sure we're current with the comments. And I'll pull up the team stats.
Oh my God, again, what the fuck? TJ Grumpy, teach your son what jinxing us now. Please, Grumpy, teach him.
I don't believe I have any impact at all on what happens to these professional athletes who are playing hundreds of miles away from me. They played yesterday and had to fly back home. So they played an away game. Well, Dallas isn't too far away from Nashville, but still. Yeah.
I'm partying this afternoon.
Was that? Yeah.
Fourth line out twice in the last 2 minutes. I don't get it. Don't get it.
Oh, man. I tell you. Matt effing Martin. Bro. This one's more mad. No one's more mad than me.
Yeah.
Grumpy. Frank is thinking I've got some sort of fault.
It's your freaking fault. You said it 146. Your big freaking mouth said it's going on overtime.
I don't think I have any impact at all.
But we played, honestly, with that score tied, we played to go to overtime. We got tentative, laid back. Let's just dump it. Doesn't matter. That's what happened.
Oh, no.
That's what happened, right? In a nutshell, that's what it was. Where instead of being proactive, we went backwards. Terrible. Ryan Richards is blaming Josh Bailey.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up real quick so I could show you here. My gosh, I got a lot of Frank is upset. He's got a lot of jinx the team. It's Pat LaFontaine's fault, Grumpy.
Wow.
John Smith.
Lane lost this game.
He certainly didn't help. I don't think he lost the game, but because the players always, I agree with Grumpy. The players lose the game. Lane didn't say, hey, Pellick, let's start sliding on the ice. Hey, Mayfield, let's slide on the ice. Hey, Matt Martz, let's go ahead and start diving around on the ice. That's not what they do in practice, I'm going to assume. But playing the fourth line out there twice in the last 2 minutes is absolutely on Lane Lambert. Managing the lines is absolutely what Lane Lambert does, and I thought that he did a poor job of that tonight and a poor job of that with 3 minutes left to go.
Terrible.
Just hoping to get to overtime, hoping to get us to overtime. And you saw what happened. Matt Martin not being able to clear he had the puck, didn't clear it. Same thing with Scott Mayfield. Had the puck, played with it behind our own net. We got hemmed in our own zone. Right? Like Lane puts them out there on the ice. Lane doesn't make those mistakes, but Lane definitely puts and suits those players up out there. So I'm not giving Lane 100% fault. He should know not to play the fourth line out there as often as he does late in the game. But I mean, when you get asked to Scott Mayfield, you got a 7-year contract making $3.5 million a year, you should be able to clear the puck.
Yeah.
There you go, Grumpy. JP.
As I said, just when you think we're doing good, we're bad, and vice versa. LOL. I'll tell you what. I put the Miami Dolphins are too fucking stupid to win. They had him stopped on a 4th and 20, and he hits Mahomes.
Can we maybe finish, Grumpy, talking about
Well, we're done. Show's over. We're done. Islanders lost because of you and your fucking glad hand and how they were guaranteed to win.
It's my fault, huh?
Absolutely.
Are you fucking serious? There ain't no way, Grumpy. Get off your horse. Please stop.
Absolutely. I agree with Frank and everybody else in this show.
Oh, stop, you motherfucker.
Yes.
I'm telling you. All righty.
There's a hold. They got away with a hold, too. No call.
All righty, Grumpy. Let's control yourself, and you could talk about that game all night till your heart's content, okay? You wanted me to pull up a few stats for you? Here they are. You wanted me to pull it up by period. Stats by period?
Yep.
Third period. Outshot 15-7. This team was on this back end of a back-to-back game, and we were outshot 15-7.
And shots off goal 7-2. We only had 9 shot attempts. Well, I guess no, 20 because 11 were blocked.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Goalkeeper saves. Yeah. So again, they dialed up pressure late.
Yeah. It's a bad loss. That's a bad loss.
We look at the period or the game as a whole. At least we didn't concede 35 shots.
That's true. Well, they only had 10 through the first 2 periods. So I mean, it's tough. It's awful tough.
My God.
They tried their best though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's look at a few more comments there. Why does he have Barzal on the ice in the last 30 seconds? That's not the problem. The problem is we didn't clear the puck, and the guys that we pay.
Barzal wasn't on the ice the last 30 seconds, was he?
He was. He passed the puck to Mayfield, and Mayfield proceeded then to try to fuck around with it along the boards and not clear it. And then Matty Martins had it wide open to clear the puck, and he didn't do that either, and it led to the goal. Matt Martin, I mean, that entire goal against was all on Matt Martin.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
Mike Bossy just tweeted he hates the Islanders.
Jack can't talk.
Well-deserved loss.
No. Andrew Will, Grumpy.
I know what you say doesn't actually affect what happens in the game, but you got to stop with it. There's no way the Islanders lose this game. It's past the stage of becoming a trend.
I wonder that the Fire Lane Lambert tweets are going to be out in full swing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Full.
Did we deserve to win this game, though, really? No.
This game everybody deserved to walk away with 0 points. That's what should have happened.
They played not to lose.
Time to healthy scratch, Cal Clutterbuck and Matt Martin. I absolutely agree. Matt Martin should not be in the lineup.
Like I said, we have a whole raft of guys who can play that bottom line.
Big Islander fan says no words for tonight's game. Yeah. I'm lost for words, says James Farrell. Once again, still can't win in Nashville. That's right. Yeah. That feeds more into the we can't win in Nashville. They just seem to have our number. Greg Frost says here, a bunch of losers. Our owners are idiots. Do you remember when Pat LaFontaine won in overtime? I remember. Oh, gosh. Remember berries. I bet Trotz is happy, says Thomas Rudy. Shit.
I bet he is too.
They shouldn't have traded Bailey. Paley types back in the day. Okay, let's see here. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Why would I do that? When Gross asked Lou about trading away Scott Mayfield or Varlamov last year's trade deadline.
Don't ask
TJ
me.
made the Islanders lose. I agree. JP says, hello. Well, it's TJ's fault, the scapegoat. I love this show. That's right. It was my fault. I said there's no way we can lose, and I should have known that the Islanders would find a way to lose. Lane should take the fourth line and shove it up his ass. And Clutter and Martin are done. Mayfield is a king of turnovers, and so is Clutter. Matt Martin should be healthy scratch for the next week. Right?
How many games has he even played this year?
Ever since he's come back and he's been healthy, he plays every night, it's mind-numbing to me. He should be a healthy scratch every single game. Oh gosh, Joseph C said Alexander is going to have a lot of explaining to do. The Finns are clear frauds.
You just should have listened.
Seen Alexander in a while.
You just should have listened to us at the beginning of the year when we told you Miami was dog shit, and they are. They can't. They're not a good team. They can't win big games against the teams that are good. They just don't.
Well, that's a good point. He says, I'd sincerely like to thank Palmieri and Mayfield for the loss. Thank you, gentlemen. I forgot Palmieri took the penalty.
Yep.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because they stop moving his feet. Stop moving.
Lip Senpai says the refs in this league are atrocious. I watch a bunch of games. It's not just the Islanders, but they get screwed over a decent amount. They miss two clear.
I'm going to tell you what. That's not true.
I don't agree.
Not true.
No.
For every time you can say the Islanders should have a penalty against, I can give you 10 where the Islanders are interfering, holding, hooking.
How about Toronto? How about Toronto when Austin Matthews got tripped or hooked by Matt Martin, and then 5 seconds later, Austin Matthews hooks Matt Martin, and they say Matthews to the box, and the Islanders score like 7 seconds into the power play. Yeah. The officiating, you'll never see us unless officiating is awful, and I mean awful. You're not going to see us complain about officiating because things benefit us and things go against us. That's just how the league happens. Over an 82-game season, you're going to have shit that's against you. You're going to have stuff that's for you. But I think officiating is somewhat even across the board, inept. And that's all. That's just my take on all sports. But I will not complain about officiating tonight's game. I think more that was players not clearing the pucks, taking bad penalties late in the game, and putting the fourth line out there when they didn't do that. Yeah. State of Survival says here, I see a 7-year contract for Matt Martin. Last year was a career year for him, and he's doing okay so far. I know he's going to be joking around. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. These hockey teams, these New York hockey teams suck right now. Cliff Neal says, I blame TJ's shirt. Grumpy, I think he's on to something here. Oh, gosh. Mm-hmm. Fire Lane now. The Fire Lane tweets will be in full swing, full effect tonight. That's for certain. TJ's comment about the officiating is quite true, sadly. Yep. Yeah. But we'll wrap things up here today. Disappointing loss. Disappointing effort. Holy crap. If you would have told me that, hey, this national team should be tired, they just got done playing the second half of the back-to-back, I did not believe you because it looked like things were so even back and forth. I just thought it was too bad teams playing tonight. But this is a game to where I thought we underperformed, and we need to see more out of this team. That's simple. But Grumpy, what do you want to say before we wrap things up here tonight?
I want to just say love and laughter to everyone who listens, and even those who don't, from TJ, the grumpy old man, and the czar of the comments, Son X.
The comment king, grumpy old man. Thank you so much, though, everybody, for watching the show. Disappointing loss. Disappointing display by our team. Need to bounce back. Who do we play next?
Minnesota. They got beat today by Arizona 6-0, I believe.
Okay, we should beat Minnesota, right? Is that putting the cart before the car, or is that putting the cart before the horse, Grumpy?
Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is.
I'd like to see us win.
Arizona 6-0 over Minnesota. They're really banged up.
They're missing Kaprizov. They're missing Johannes Brodin. They're missing Jared Spurgeon. They're missing a lot of their top 4 defensemen and top 6 forwards.
Gustafsson come back in net tonight, gave up 5 goals. So, he's not ready. You know what I'm saying? You need
Yes.
a little bit of time. So
Yeah. By the way, the Wild have lost their last 4 games. They've dropped their last 4 games. And you look at their last 10, it's even worse. My God. They might be one of the worst teams in the NHL, Grumpy, right now. The Minnesota Wild are 3-6-1. A 3-game lose or 3-game losing streak, I'm sorry, and 3 wins in the last 10 attempts. So not looking good for them.
We're 4-5-1 in our last 10. So.
But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Disappointing game tonight. Sour taste in our mouths. Hopefully we get to enjoy some football between Miami and who are they playing again tonight? Grumpy, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. There's 9 minutes to go, so let's sign off.
All right. All righty. Thanks, Grumpy. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. One more real quick. GM says here, playing the 4th line with 30 seconds to go. What the F, for F's sake, all on Lambert. He should be fired because he can't coach a peewee hockey team. Minnesota and Winnipeg next in back-to-back.
At least we play Winnipeg on the second half. That'll be a loss. We should be Minnesota.
We've not won a single game so far this year in the second half to a back-to-back. So we'll
Don't expect that to change. Just remember, tomorrow night, TJ and the Grumpy Old Man with Sun X.
That's right. Thanks, Grumpy. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll be with you guys tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in, and thank you, Grumpy.